Yeah, I was playing Gene Keaton, man. When I first started listening to Gene Keaton, I was lost as a mofo. I was so lost in the sauce. Money Money peace and love. James Landers, peace and love. Michael, peace and love. All right. Now, I gave everybody the link and access to the files. So I'm looking at it. You know, if you click on legacy classes, then we got all the different classes that was there, right? So we got everything that was there. We got the 1099 OID educational legacy, the one we're going over. Now, these websites I be starting, they be giving me issues due to the names and stuff, right? You just know that the Cash App is always good, man. That's the best way to get funds to me. I also have a PayPal, one of my business partners, all right? But yeah, man, so a lot of people are drawn to the 1099 OID. So I just want to make sure I go over everything that I believe to be clear cut, because I've helped hundreds across the nation, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds over the years. Do you follow me? You gotta know I'm not a licensed attorney or tax expert. I do this for educational and informational purposes only. Now, also, before I get started, I do want to, a lot of people are, not a lot, but some people have hit me up asking, and they have not got the email. Check your spam box as well. Check your spam box as well, all right? I'm going to go to the email real quick. It'll come from Keckenstein Trust, okay? I'm up for this one. See, let me load up. It'll come from Keckenstein Trust, all right? So also check your spam box, because sometimes it's labeled as spam, okay? This is online courses with John Kalam. All right? And it does show I've sent out over 125 of these emails. I've done them individually. So I know when I see your email, who's got them. So I've sent this out 125 times separately, all right? Now, the security code will change, okay? The security code will change. This is the security code right now. It's going to change. I'm going to change it every Sunday, okay? So, be looking for a new security code after Sunday night, okay? So, after tomorrow night, this will be no good. You already know how to do the rest of the classes. Will be as follows. Those are the classes. It shows you the classes. But this will be basically the same email format, you know, and we're doing this every week. So tonight is the OID class, and the next one will be December 19th. All right, so we got a few weeks. So we got a couple weeks. I'm spreading these out a couple weeks. The same way with the child support and family of law class. Now at the end, if you do follow me on Instagram, that's Don_Kalam, DON_KILAM. Let me know if you want to do we can do a live chat right at the end of the class. All right. Also, you can put questions in the chat box, and I will answer questions at the end. All right. You can wait to the end. That would be best. All right. Because I know there's going to be some questions. I want to try to get them covered. Okay. Excuse me. Been blowing on that gas. Now I hear a lot of people still joining. Welcome, welcome everybody. Now, if you're watching this on the replay, you already know what to do. Leave a donation, drkalam.com/donate, or the Cash App is secured party credit. Again, a secured party credit. This is the 1099 OID course. You must know that you are the original. You are the original, okay? You came here. This is how I get it and understand the process, okay? You came here because your first covenant is with your higher power, your creator. All right, so you are the original issue of your labor and all your actions. Okay? Now, this information is not mine per se. It's just something I put together. I took the time to put it together and over and understand it. The processes that I have learned are from, I'm going to shout out the people that I've learned from, okay? Gene Keating with the 1099 OID starting off, okay? So who put me on Gene Keating? His name was PJ or Pito Lita, okay? Not the same PJ everybody knows, okay? Pito Lita, he put me on this information. And then I followed Tazadoc. He's deprogrammed enlightener on YouTube. Tazadoc. Shaw Bay. And that's pretty much that helped me over and understand this, and then helping people. Going out here and helping people over and understand this as well. So I've seen hundreds of people do this, okay? I've seen failures and I've seen successes, okay? It's all about assessment and attack. Welcome everybody. Peace and love to everybody. And the Elmore says genes are true. Can everybody see the screen? You know that you can see the screen. I need to make sure. I'm gonna put the if I have the files. I'm gonna put the direct link. So yes, clearly. Can y'all hear me well? Let me know if you can hear me well as well. Oh, almost gave up. You know the. Everything's good. All right. All right. So click that link. That's gonna give you direct access. But I'm gonna put the 1099 OID book too as well. All right. So the link is in the chat. Respond to the email if you can't access the link. So I'm going to show you how to do it. All right. So basically the same link is to everything, right? Click on legacy classes, right? John Kalam, legacy classes with Malik Kilam. And then you got these different classes right here. Then this one's a 1099 OID educational. All right. And then we got other folders up here too. So even if you're utilizing your phone, just know there's other folders up there too. All right. I got something. I even got the second video up there from the class in September I did. All right. So we're going over the 1099 OID book that I put together, the PDF. It's over 218 pages. Okay, over 200 pages. Now, the reason where we get where we feel everything is correct is due to the confiscation of the gold of April 5th, 1933. And that's kind of something of what's going on right now, okay? Similar to what's going on right now. They're going to, well, everybody can just watch how it plays out with the vaccine and the vaccinations. But basically, it's like a mark. If you don't have it, you're going to get chipped or whatever. You can't buy, sell, or trade with the corporation. All right? So it's important to learn how to grow your own food sources. It always gets worse before it gets better. That's just life, man. But yeah, man, they took all the gold. Executive Order, Presidential Executive Order 6102, April 5th, 1933. But they had to give you remedy. They have to give you remedy, all right? Everything's prepaid, all right? So, this source right here, anytime you see it in the pink background, that's coming from Stop the Pirates Blogspot with Jeff Anderson, all right? According to Jeff Anderson, what is the 1099 OID? The 1099 OID is for reporting gambling proceeds, won or lost at casinos. When we look at the Federal Reserve notes, we find that it's a promise to pay. But it is not payment, but it is a future event, and future event that has not happened yet. Amounts to speculation whether or not the promise to pay would actually occur. Thus, the use of Federal Reserve notes themselves are gambling proceeds, and thereby a suspicious activity reportable on the 1099 original issue discount and other means of reporting. Thus, whoever is getting a paycheck in U.S. dollars is receiving an issue that is reportable on a 1099 OID. Because the Federal Reserve note, otherwise referred to as U.S. dollars, are evidence of speculation on a future event, the promise to pay that is gambling on the future event, as one does not know if that promise to pay will return to the source or not. It seems that it will not return to the source unless it is reported on a federal tax form 1099 to enable the issue to enter the electronic circuit in a journey to the source. Without entry therein, it is doubtful that the promise to pay can occur, so-called the tax occurrence. So it seems that wherever a check is issued is the issue reportable on the 1099 OID, or where a cash item in the Federal Reserve note is given or received, or a bond or other type of security given in commercial paper that is payable on the Federal Reserve note or U.S. dollars, is the gambling proceeds and reportable on the 1099 OID. So here, my understanding of this is saying, they're telling me that the OID, reason why this is for gambling proceeds is because it's based for your debt. You file this because you know everything is in debt. You promise to pay, promissory notes. Okay? You can report the cash, the bonds, because bonds are evidence of the debt. The 1099 OID filing instructions refer to the issue as the reportable item, and that is the check at the source that has not yet returned to the source. It can't return to the source until it enters the closed circuit via the federal tax form 1099 in its journey back to the source. One could say that the first issue, the check, being the source, is the venue, and after filing the 1099 on that issue, the item returning to the source, I suppose the difference in the source of issue and the item returning to the source, the tax, is the returning item and was charged electronically, and it travels in a closed circuit back to the source for settlement and in exchange. When you receive a bill for a product you have used and there was no check therewith for you to pay the bill, the amount of that bill is withholding and is a federal withholding in possession of the person who gave you the bill without a check to pay it. Thus, the action for settlement is to report a tax liability assessed in a 1040 tax return and taxed the same as income tax on the 1099 OID filed therewith. It is the IRS then who will tell the bill collector that the amount of the bill is a federal withholding. Withholding in the bill is the amount of the federal withholding admitted in the bill. The bill is evidence of the amount withheld, and without a check or money order to accompany the bill to send to you, the absence of the check or money order is the admission of withholding for that amount. So far, everybody that can follow along in the chat, does this make sense? Do you have any questions over what was just stated? Because these were pretty profound. So, private equity said he's following. Greg Taylor said it makes sense. Nicole says it makes sense. It is, listen, so anytime you get a bill, okay, so say you go to the store, you pay for something. It's considered federal withholding because all debt is prepaid. And when you're assessing the tax, you assess this as a federal withholding. Anything that's a debt, you can assess it as a federal withholding. That's what it is. It's a federal withholding. We already know when you assess your federal withholdings quarterly or yearly, you get those federal withholdings back. So there you have the reason to tell the bill collector the amount to you is a federal withholding. Federal tax, so this definitely makes sense. You have the reason to tell the bill collector the amount billed to you is a federal withholding withheld by the sender of the bill and is caused to assess the same on the 1040 and to tax the assessment on the 1099 OID. Therewith for settlement and closing in exchange for your Treasury Direct number, which would be a Social Security number. And here's the importance of that. Here's the importance of this. When you sign up for the Social Security number, they need that number, right, to access your credit. They use the number to access your credit. Now you're just getting your credit back. What is set above, or what was just stated, should be all you need to take care of your bills. When you get the bill that did not include a check for you to pay, that bill, there should be sufficient information for you to report the same on a 1040 and 1099 OID without any further correspondence. The bill was given for the cost of a product or your personal credit was used to create by assuming the use of this account. The 1040 is the assessment of the taxable income debt, and the 1099 OID is the tax return to the source of your credit for settlement and closing in exchange for your Treasury Direct number, which would be your social, right? So it is the tax refund that is the remedy and that makes the action in court unnecessary. He states, I suppose it could be made a court of record by putting copies of the 1040 or 1099 into the court record, but it is the IRS forms 1040 and 1099 that makes an administrative court the court of record with a remedy. The administrative court is that of the IRS. That is what the tax court record will consist of, and that is probably the only Article 3 court of record bound with revenue in the new venue. And this is facts. This is facts. The IRS is the court, and you know, if you've been following me, you already know where I'm about to go. If you've been following me for a while, you already know where I'm about to go. Why I say this is a fact. Because when we go here, we already understand 28 U.S.C. 3002, subsection 2. All courts are tax courts. If they do not have delegation order from Congress or Supreme Court, it's a tax court. It states right here, federal definitions. All courts means any court created by the Congress of the United States, excluding the United States tax court. So the court, it's a court of record. IRS is considered a court of record in this issue. Beer Gang said, yeah, he's a 28 USC. I'm getting there, Kenny. I'm getting there. Follow along. Now, the bill gives information that makes it obvious the actual payment is withheld. When you receive a bill in the mail, this is like this is showing them. This is the record that's showing you how much credit they access from your account. Ray Fox says all courts are tax courts. Yes, indeed. All courts are tax courts. It's always a tax issue, especially when it hurt nobody. There's no victim. So the bill gives information that makes it obvious the actual payment is withheld. So it is that withholding that it is your taxable income. The request for the billing agency to file the 1099 OID on the issue seems to be all right. But so far, the requests have been met with silence, and that silence is taken as a refusal and dishonor, and therefore calls to go ahead and file both the 1040 and the 1099 OID. The tax assessment with the 1040 can be done on the receipt of the bill. When the bill does not include a check therewith to enable you to pay the amount due, the fact exists that the funds have been withheld from you, expressed in the bill, because it requests you to pay those absent funds. Obviously, they have been withheld, and the withholding is federal because of the public policy of HJR 192. He says, so I think the funds can be reported as a federal withholding in possession of the named recipient of the 1099 OID. It is your credit they use to prepay any plan to use the agency's services. So you might ask for the plan to use their services and provide you the papers. File federal tax form 1099 OID on the issues to enable you to prepay the available services used to make statement or to make settlement for closing in exchange for Treasury Direct Number, which is your social. Request the plan to enable to use their services prepaid. That will require the use of the 1099 OID. When one gets a bill from a company or agency, one can accept a bill and return it asking for the plan to enable him to make settlement by set off a report. The item issue is taxable income and request your tax refund from the IRS and tax recovery. So, during your lifetime, you'll probably not have the Secretary of Treasury or the IRS paying or offsetting your debts for you or adjusting your account according to HJR 192. You, like most people, have been giving your equity away by paying your bills in the form of Federal Reserve notes that you acquired through your labor. Like a Monopoly game, for real. You had the prepaid account available but didn't know it existed or didn't know how to use it. And the net result is you have been paying for stuff the company should have been paying for all along. You've been following me all along, you understand. Anytime you see the definition of debt, that is just an amount owed to the United States Corporation. It's time to fill out an expense report in Form 1099 OID and send it to the payroll clerk to be reimbursed for the stuff you paid for that the company was supposed to pay for. The Form 1099 OID is also known as the original issue discount form. Remember that all men and women issue or originate from the ground. They are God's creation, and therefore all labor that originates from them is also considered the original issue. Since we eventually return to the ground, all labor also needs to be returned to the source of the labor. And that would be to the man or woman who created the products and services from his or her labor. So you got to get it all back. We're energy. The 1099 OID is basically an expense report that needs to be submitted to the company via the payroll clerk to be reimbursed for purchases you made that the company should have paid for in the first place. Just like an expense report You need to attach the receipts only in the event of an IRS audit to the 1099 for proper accounting by the payroll clerk. They'll tell you to put it on Schedule I. So let's review. When you were born, your parents entered into a contract with the government, which is the company or corporation. That corporation just so happens to be bankrupt. And you essentially went to work part-time for them to help pay off the debt the company has incurred. And I'm true to you that this is true. The United States Corporation is bankrupt. So they operate with bills of exchange, okay? Bills of exchange. There we go. This is coming from thebalance.com. Who owns the U.S. national debt? It brings down a lot of different statistics, okay? But I need you to know. Look at this. There's a pie chart I want to show you. Boom, right here. There's the companies right there in Japan. There's a lot of different people who own the public debt of the United States, right? But they owe the people, the taxpayers. They owe the taxpayers $21 trillion. Here it is. Debt held by the public, 77%. And it's going to be $21 trillion is what they owe. Look, the U.S. debt reached a new high, October 1st, 2020. $27 trillion. Most headlines focus much on how much the United States owes China, one of the largest foreign owners. What many people don't know is the Social Security Trust Fund, also known as your retirement money, owns most of the national debt. How does that work and what does that mean? Let's click on this. Social Security Trust Fund from thebalance.com. Tells you about the Social Security Trust Fund, its history, solvency, and how to fix it. We got Stevie B. Can I have the links to the class? You in the class. You in the class. Look, man, respond to the email. I'm not doing that shit right now. Can somebody post the links in the chat room? Kim said, it's weird how they are bankrupt and they've been stealing all of our money collectively. Listen, they're not taking money. Look, man, check this out. I need y'all to go here. I'm not trying to correct y'all, but I am. Okay, I need y'all to talk right. I need y'all to understand what is going on. Look, when you go to donkalam.com, right? I'm going to break this down for you real quick. When you go to donkalam.com, you go to blogs for success at the top, right? Scroll on down, right? Go to 10 rules of commerce, right? Hit read more. This is the universal 10 rules of commerce. Listen, somebody's asking about the, listen, I don't know if y'all understand it. The 1099 OID is just to get back what debt you've already pledged your instruments to, or instruments that's been pledged in your name. Getting all that back. getting everything that you've issued, okay, from your labor. Does that make sense? Now look, most people gotta understand, a lot of people get in trouble for a lot of different reasons. We're gonna go over those reasons. We'll go over some of those reasons. They're not filing out correctly, filling it out correctly. They're trying to put in numbers that they just made up out the blue. I ain't do none of that. I ain't do none of that. Well, sorry, y'all didn't want to put a link in, so I got to put the link in. Look, I'm going over the different forms, brother. I'm about to go over the different forms. I'm trying to jump ahead and skip ahead of class and shit. What's wrong with black people? That's what I call y'all black. Straight up. I got nationality. There's a link, again, to the class. Catch up. Show up late. So, when you were born, your parents enter into a contract with the government, the company. Look, and this is not shit that, like, look, they don't hide this shit from you. Y'all just making this shit difficult. Okay? I don't know why y'all make this shit difficult when this shit's so simple. The United States means a federal corporation. You just do what they do. You do exactly what they do. There ain't no person out here claiming to be the United States. Hey, I'm the United States. You follow me. Follow me. So look, check this out. Social Security is a trust fund. There, thebalance.com. You see it, Social Security Trust Fund. You can't make this up. Social Security is a trust fund. Your Treasury Direct account number is access to a Social Security trust fund. That's talking about the government owes you money. Go in there and talk about money all you want. Look at 10 Rules of Commerce. Look at number 6. Now, here we go. Go in there talking about pay you cash, right? That makes you a tax expert, right? So look, 10 Rules of Commerce. You can only control what you create. You can only control what you create. Number 2, you cannot control what you did not create. When you get married, the state created that marriage certificate, not you. The certificate says the state has title to this marriage now. The state has title to your child now. Whoever, the county, whoever's on those certificates. Certificate means title of ownership, okay? You're just a trustee. You get to act on behalf, okay? And if that trustee wants to be the actual company and corporation, well, you can do that too. Number 3, all commerce is based upon a allodial title. Number 4, the only true title to anything is the manufacturing statement of origin, or the MSO or the MCO. Number 5, when you register anything, you give up true title. When you register anything, you give up true title. Regis means king. Look, man, I'm up. Regis means king. Regis, Latin for of the king. Point, peace and love. Hitboxers can't make this stuff up. Yeah, that's one of my sayings. You can't make this stuff up. I need to trademark this shit. Now look, check this out. So, register, register of the king. Okay? Okay, let me go back. Symbols of commerce. Now, so when you register anything, give up true title. Number 6, I'm going to talk about give me my money. There is no money, just fiat currency and credit. Go on there and demand some fiat notes if you want to. Listen, fiat currency and credit. True money is gold and silver. Demand silver and gold. That's per the Constitution, right? That's what they took an oath to uphold. So they're bound by it. The soul bound by it. The spell bound by it. The word bound by whatever they took an oath to uphold. If you took a vow to be in a marriage, listen, guess what? You already know what happens if you go against those vows if you took an oath to uphold. Real shit. It's like spells. Number 7, there is no involuntary servitude. There is no involuntary servitude. That means there's no such thing as slavery. There's no such thing as slavery anymore. You enter into this shit. Alright? First in line is first in time. Do not interfere with commerce and do not allow anything to come between you and your higher power. Law is contract and contract is law. Now, back to this debt, right? Back to the United States. The debt held by the public, right? Let's see what this says. Hold on. What is the public debt and when is it too high? These are some good reads, man. Go through this shit so you know we're not making this shit up. So, there's different ways to get this, right? 21 trillion is what they owe the people. And this is part doing the OID, right? And we're going to go on through this with the book, right? So the IRS is your friend, right? You do the accounting. You're doing the accounting. So you can check out this stuff. This is at the Stop the Quiet Blog Spot. Jeff Anderson, he brought some great information, great read. Informational purposes only. I'm going to skip down to the page. Okay. I want to go that far. I broke down some definitions of non-taxpayer, non-resident alien. You want to make sure you have proper status correction first, okay? Make sure that you got your name as an LLC with holding companies, trust administrations together, private banks together. You know, the trust corporation is a private bank, right? You gotta understand that. It's an irrevocable trust in your name, or even a revocable trust. As long as you got it, an EIN sets you up an account. This is how you're operating in commerce, and you're operating with your name and of your name. Follow me? You're working for the name now, and you create it in different derivatives. All right? You got your private bank. You got your holding company. Follow me? Whatever it is, however you're gonna do it now. HJR 192. They took away the gold in exchange to prepay all of your debts, past, present, and future. But you must know it's not a tax until you assess it. Why do you have to assess the tax? Because you own the credit the government is using. You are the creditor in fact. You are identified as the payer and themselves as the recipient of the funds on corporate and government filings. Go read publication 1212. This is included in the documents. This is included when you go and view the documents. 1099 OID educational class. When you go look, you're going to see publication 1212. All right. And I got a lot of different things in here. There goes publication 1212 right there. This last was revised January 2019. All right. Once you know it's real. This is where I'm pulling from a lot of different sources, but I want you to know we are pulling from their sources as well. So there's the link as well. You can click that. You can click it right in the book, all right? Now, when you look at page 7, Page 7, nominee. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull it up. We're going to go to publication 1212. We're going to go to page 7. So you don't think we're just making this up. I'm going to show and tell and demonstrate today, especially for the lazy people. But you need to read this whole thing. You need to read. Oh, I remember where it's at. Dean Keaton says page 6, but it's on page 7. I screenshotted it in the book. It breaks down what nominee is. And it's important to understand what a nominee is. Let me see. Here's the definition right here. I pulled the definition from the book. I copied and pasted it. So does that mean that we need to show all we report on 1099 OIDs as taxable income in the gross income box of the 1040? Listen, I'm going to go over all that. I want you to know, man, listen, I screenshotted this. And I put it in the book. So I know it came from here somewhere. I'm gonna find it for you. So, you know, there it goes right here. So right here, it's going to be on the left side, page 7. Nominee. So I'm going to read it from publication 1212. Zoom in. If you are the holder of an OID debt instrument and you receive a Form 1099 OID that shows your taxpayer identification number and includes amounts belonging to another person, you are considered a nominee. You must file another Form 1099 OID for each actual owner, showing the OID for the owner. Show the owner of the debt instrument as a recipient and you as the payer. Complete the Form 1099 OID and Form 1096 and file the forms with the Internal Revenue Service Center for your area. You must also give a copy of the Form 1099 OID to the actual owner. However, you are not required to file a nominee return to show amounts belonging to your spouse. See the Form 1099 instructions for more information when preparing your tax return. I just want y'all to see this. So nominees and middlemen must file. They have to file. You're appointing them as their nominee. You're appointing them as the nominees. So I'm gonna break this down, simple as can be. Okay? I know some of y'all might have got a little lost in the sauce. Some of y'all were following along. But what are the amounts belonging to another person? That is the amount of the bills, the debt instruments. If you get a bill, car note, mortgage, credit card note, whatever, you're taking negotiable instruments and the securitize them anyways. But when you get this note, it's showing how much credit they access from your Social Security trust. It's connected to the Sister K trust, but for educational purposes and practical purposes, we'll call it the Social Security Trust, Treasury Direct Account, okay? So from the corporations and banks every month, for the use of your credit as a nominee for you, you are the payer and beneficial owner because they are using your trust in your sole proprietorship's credit. And it does not become a tax until you assess it. And the way you assess it is by filing the correct forms. You pay to the order of the U.S. Department of the Treasury because they are the bookkeepers, okay? Taxes supersede contract law. Understand that everything's dealing with contract law. Dealing with your Social Security trust accounts due to the bankruptcy. Always address every issue in court as a tax issue. We're not going to go over the courts, but this is there. This is dealing with court issues as well. But this is a good read. So let's stop and read this. Listen. Who is the Department of the Treasury, the Internal Revenue Service? They are the bookkeepers for your credit, your Treasury Direct account, your Social Security Trust. They are the bookkeepers for your Social Security Trust account, okay? Your Treasury Direct account is just like your checkbook. It must be kept within a reasonable balance. The IRS will send you a bill if it gets too far on the taxable income side or out of balance. The 1040, the 1099 OID, the 1096, and the 1040B is filed every year this is filed every year, and it brings your Social Security Trust account back to zero, okay? Now, for those who don't know what the 1040B form is, okay? And it's a pretty simple process, especially with your status corrected, on the record correctly. Listen, this is what the 1040B form is. It's a payment voucher. And you send this in. When they send you a bill, you click the coupon out and you send this in. You send this in. All right? I'm dealing with the 1040B. Look. I'm going to show you what we learned through Pastor Divine's process, which he was a student of Gene Keaton. And a lot of people don't understand this. Don't even know this. I included this for you too, so you know how to do this correctly. You know, and we're gonna go over this. Before a 1099 OID can be issued, there's different things you have to do first, including the 1099A. At least 3 to 5 days before you do the 1099 OID, you send these 3 to 5 days apart. The 1099A goes first, okay? This is included in these files, okay, for your review for educational purposes only. It is your account and your responsibility to keep your account within reason. Your credit is taxable income. Say it again, your credit is taxable income. You have to declare your income. The use of your credit has to be recorded, whether you use it or they use it. So you need to understand that this is taxable income. It's your credit that they're using. Does this make sense? Put that it makes sense in the comment box below. If this makes sense, put that it makes sense in the comment box. Let me know that this makes sense. Your credit is taxable income. You have to declare your income. The use of your credit has to be reported, whether you use it or they use it. It is your account and your responsibility to keep your account within reason. Listen, man, I got the chats booming in the online class. I got Clint, man. He says it makes sense. Betty Taylor says it makes perfect sense. Kim says it makes sense. Listen, I'm about to address this shit too. Y'all, I'm about to, cause y'all in my class, man. Y'all pay to be in my class. So I gotta answer y'all. Andre says it makes sense. I want y'all to say y'all questions to the end though. Say the questions to the end of class. It says that taxable income to us or taxable income to them. That's what Ozzy says. I would suggest and guess that it's taxable income to you. You gift it to them. Anytime you're dealing with them, you're gifting it to them. It's not a tax until you assess it. Yes, Kim is correct. They are supposed to automatically send you a 1099 OID, but they never do. And Betty says it makes perfect sense. Gregory Taylor says, I just said thanks for answering this question. Ain't no thing, man. That's what I'm supposed to do. Gregory Taylor says, how did they get the POA to use my credit? Well, have you not listened from jump? Listen, if you got utilities on, who gave them the social? Where else they gonna get your Social Security Trust number? You gave it to them, mother. Come on, man. Come on. Clint says it makes perfect sense. Money Thumb says his mind is blown. Come on, man. We're not new to this. We're true to this. James Lander says, say it loud. It makes sense. Corey G says perfect sense. Kenny Elmore says off top. Quentin says yes. Beer Gang Tabernacles makes sense. Moab. Kim says it makes sense. Vincent says it makes sense. Victor says it makes sense. Nas says it makes sense. Nicole says it makes sense. Private Equity says it makes sense. Kenny says they put a cold move down on this one. Yes, sir. Jay Fox says that you give them permission to rob you. Yes, sir. A guest says it makes sense. Yes. So I'm going to say it one more time. It's your account and your responsibility to keep your account within reason. Your credit is taxable income. You have to declare your income. The use of your credit has to be reported, whether you use it or they use it. There's a reason why they were using receipts and you was giving them dollar bills or food stamps. These are called bills of exchange. You're utilizing bills of exchange when dealing in bankruptcy. Do you follow me? Yes. Feral Touch is super dope on GS makes perfect sense. Corey G says to make them nominee correct. Yes. Anytime you give them your social or sign anything, verbal contracts and agreements, you're appointing them as a nominee on behalf of your credits, your accounts, your Social Security trust fund. I want to ask about the class. The class is $100 Cash App. Secured party credit. Put your email address in the memo box. Kenny Elmore says give it back. So it's your job. It's your account and your responsibility to keep your account within reason. Your credit is taxable income. When they access your credit, they're paying people off this. You have to declare your income, though, because you're gifting it to them. When you do this, you're gifting it. You're signing over your powers of attorney, whether it's verbal. So look, man, I'm going to go back up, man. I don't want to skip something important. We'll come back to page 58. But he asks, how are they getting power? So look, check this out. Taxes supersede contract law because you're a Treasury direct account, or we'll call it your Social Security trust fund, all right? Due to the bankruptcy. Always address every issue in court as a tax issue. You're not in law. You're in tax court. There's no money, only taxes. A bill is a money order from them. Then there's contract law. That's oral contract, written contract, performance contract. Performance contract is the most damaging to us, all right? Now, if you do it verbally, you're under contract with them, all right? Then you assess it to a tax and make a tax law, but it's always a tax issue, okay? So any contracts you have, whether it's W-2s, birth certificates, Social Security, you have a Social Security number, so you have a Social Security trust fund. So, back to page 58. If you don't keep your Treasury direct account or your Social Security trust funds at zero yearly, they may charge you with criminal charges and hold your body as collateral until you zero out your Treasury direct account because you are a tax delinquent fugitive. All taxes are federal taxes. There's no such thing as a state tax. The truth on your tax return can only be agreed to by another 1040 or 1040V. If anyone tries to invent a false claim on the 1040 or 1040V, it will be perjury. Otherwise, all he or she can do is agree with you, and that makes it a civil matter. That's why any assumed agreement must go on the 1040 or 1040V to compel someone to commit perjury. Debts cannot be written off until they have been charged or assessed as a tax. On the 1040 or the 1040V, the corporations cannot charge or assess taxes. They can collect them, but they can't write off tax losses because they cannot assess them. They need the accused person to not assess the tax, which is a commercial protest of dishonor and default. I'm going to say this one more time because this is important. Speak slowly. Debts cannot be written off until they have been charged or assessed as a tax on the 1040 or 1040V. The corporations cannot charge or assess taxes. They can collect them, but they can't write off tax losses because they cannot assess them. They need the accused person to not assess the tax, which is a commercial protest, dishonor, and default. And this is why a lot of people get in trouble. When you have your private bank established for your name, then you can collect this check from the Treasury. Because corporations cannot charge or assess tax. They can only collect them. The tax funds go to your corporate name. Your corporate name. So if anybody is telling you to do this and not have a corporate name established or a trust fund established, then how else are you going to operate with these funds that you're about to collect when you assess this OID? Does this make sense? It has to be a business. Why? All courts are tax courts. You have to be represented by a trustee and corporation. Make sure, hey, it makes sense, or I follow you. I got to know. I'm going to be reading this one more time. But sometimes it takes 8 or 9 times, man. Debts cannot be written off until they have been charged or assessed as a tax on the 1040 or the 1040V. The corporations cannot charge or assess taxes. They can collect them, but they can't write off tax losses because they cannot assess them. They need the accused person to not assess the tax, which is a commercial protest, dishonor, and default. I don't care if you're out there watching the replay. Let me know this makes sense. Put in the comments, this makes sense. I got to know this makes sense. Tell yourself this makes sense until it makes sense. So people are telling you not to make your name a holding company. They're lost in the sauce is what I would say. They're lost in the sauce. You got to have your name set up as a private bank, private EIN, private banker, okay? Private trust company, LLC, whatever. Corporations cannot charge or assess taxes. They can only collect them. So, you got to know what's going on. So when using the pay to the order to the United States Treasury on a bill along with the 1040B, this is the streamlined version. This means you have to assess the charge, the tax account, and it goes to zero. The 1040B is a tax return which assesses and charges their account. It replaces the long 1040 form and it is used for a particular issue. About to end on the IG. Much peace and love. I do a lot on the IG. And as I said, man, I'll bring somebody on the IG tonight when class is over. If they still have some questions, I'll bring a few people. I want y'all, if y'all have an Instagram, IG is Instagram. My Instagram is Don_Kilam. Don_Kilam on the Instagram. I'm going to be going live in a little bit, all right? Now I'm going to the chat right now. We got Ozzy. He says he's been saying status correction must have been done. Yes. Status correction is important because, listen, political status, your political status, if you're seen as their slave, you're seen as their property, they pretty much can do whatever they want with you. You have no rights. Yeah, status. Someone's asking about UCC. We're not going over UCC today. I'm going to ask about the 98EN number. That's not necessary unless you got access overseas somewhere. You don't even, listen, if you ain't got access overseas to an overseas address, don't be trying to use something overseas that you don't have access to. Vincent said he's understanding better as I explain it. That's my job. That's what I'm here to do. Victor says, every single bill you authorize by using your Social Security number, you give them taxable income, but you must assess the tax. Yes, it's just a gift from your trust. Until you assess it, you're just gifting it. It's just going to be a gift. And they're going to claim it. No, you claim the funds utilizing your regular Social Security trust number, but you just make sure you put the funds that you receive into a business. You know, that name is not you. It's always a business. So you need to view that as such. But it's going to be a sole prop when attached to your social. So all you're doing is giving it to a corporation. People do it annually. Yes, some people do it annually, and some people do it quarterly. I'm going to ask, when is it supposed to be done? When is it supposed to be done? All right, so money order. Been using a money order on a bill along with the 1040B. Send the originals to the IRS along with the original 1040B. So you send the original bill. If you was to get like a, you know, some people just, so look, check this out. This is what I would do. Let's look up a electric bill. So you see this electric bill right here? Usually, there's a payment coupon at the bottom right here, right? Yeah, let's find one right here. So, you would just take the bottom off. All right? You see this right here? This would be the money order. This is the actual money order. This would be showing how much credit they used, how much credit you authorized that month. And they're sending it to you. If you don't respond to this, this is acquiescence. This is acquiescence. Somebody asked about the electric bill. But look, check this out. When you go up here, you go to the files, look, check this out. There's someone that actually did their electric bill. But we're going to go over this stuff, right? We're going to go over this, all right? There's an actual 1099A right there. That was done, all right? But this is the coupon. Now, I would send this coupon in with the 1040V form. This is one of the actual first things I ever utilized, right? So this payment voucher goes in with the actual bill. These go together. These go together. Everything is bills of exchange. You have to know this. But first, before you do any bill, you always put them on notice first. You have to send them a letter. So include it. Include it in the files is going to be my dispute letters, right? This is how you begin to assess the tax. Send them a dispute letter, all right, under proof of claim. The attention is always going to go. So look, so I gave y'all the actual fill in the blanks, right? So I want you to see this. So it's actually going to always go to the chief financial officer or the chief executive officer. It's always going to go to the chief executive officer and the chief financial officer. Someone said the same method with the car. It's pretty much the same method with the car. With houses, it's a little bit different. Mortgages is different. So look, there's going to be there's different things you have to do with property because, you know, on the private side, this is just to offset the debt, but you still need to make the property private. There's still different processes to make the property private. But if you click on letter to the CFO, because I already knew somebody was going to ask about the car, right? If you click on letter to the CFO, this is somebody I actually helped, right? And this is how you assess the tax with your car. You attach this as well. All right, it says, so we'll go to the car next. Someone says we have a mortgage. I have a whole different class. I'm doing a mortgage class in January. Mortgages and foreclosures. It's going to be in January. So, first, you got to send a dispute letter. These are non-negotiable instruments. You got to understand. They're instruments until they get securitized, okay? So, always send it to the Chief Executive Officer or the Chief Financial Officer and address it and send it to the headquarters certified mail request, all right? You put your account number, all right? Let them know you would be happy to settle any financial obligations you might lawfully owe. You might lawfully owe. Now, you would be happy to settle these obligations as soon as you receive the proper documentation, which would include validation of the debt, which is the actual accounting, verification of the claim against you, which will be a sworn affidavit or a hand-signed invoice, in accordance with the Bills of Exchange Act, Uniform Commercial Codes, Federal Fair Credit Reporting Acts, and then your local state statutes for lawful purposes. We need a copy of the contract signed by both parties, therefore binding both parties. This is how you begin assessing the tax. You begin assessing the tax by getting administrative remedy, because you got to understand all courts are tax courts. Every issue is a tax issue. All courts are tax courts. Every issue is a tax issue. I'll say it again. All courts are tax courts. Every issue is a tax issue. And I'm hoping this makes sense. My apologies. But because you got to understand, starting off, if it's on paperwork, right? I mean, it's more than just taxes at the end of the day, but starting off, it's a tax issue. And then once things start, yeah, people let them know it's making sense. All sorts of tax issues. People hit me up, let them know it makes sense. So it goes beyond the scope of that. Once it's past this realm, then when they're converted into securities, it's becoming security fraud, federal trade and commission fraud. You follow me? Trading fraud. There's a lot of different frauds that's going to be involved. Please also provide me with a true and certified copy, not a photocopy of the original note, which is the credit agreement under penalty of perjury with unlimited liability, confirm that this note has never been sold. So check this out. Most times they try to give you a copy, a photocopy of the actual agreements. They never give you the original agreements because these notes are kept or they're either destroyed. All right? They'll never do it under penalty of perjury. It's always the company signing. There won't be nobody that'll sign for this from the company. How can you meet? Can you meet Wells Fargo? Can you meet Bank of America? You always have the right to face your accuser to go to court. Correct? So starting off, this is how you assess it because it's all a tax issue. You want to see how do you face your accuser. If you've been following me along, you know this. How do you face your accuser? through a corporation standpoint. You attach a W-9 to this, which is going to make it a tax issue. A W-9, which is going to make it a tax issue. Anytime you're dealing with them, you attach a form, W-9, a blank form W-9. They're deemed to know what to do with it, because if they send you one, you're deemed to know what to do with it. And most banks do send you one, and you send it back. They just disguise it in different ways, okay? A blank form, W-9. I didn't know if I put one in here. Yes, I did put one in here for you guys. You don't even have to go look it up. Request the taxpayer identification number and certification. This is how you begin to address and assess the tax. Because before you take it to the IRS, if you didn't request this, the IRS is not going to process anything because you requested it, so you did your due diligence. They didn't give you the due process that was due to you. Byron Bay says, I love you, man. Point says, damn. Listening to you, then months of trying to figure this out on my own. Many thanks. Ollie in the UK, so I'm in the UK. Does the same legal process apply to all countries? No, it's different in the UK. All right, there's different forms of file in the UK. We're the recipient on the 1099 OID, right? No, you're not the recipient. They appointed themselves as the recipient. That's what happened. But we're going to go over this stuff, so hold fast. Y'all trying to jump ahead. Y'all got to understand, this is a process. Pharaoh Tut says, damn, you're awesome, my G. You got to understand, this shit is a process first. So, yes, you have to assess the tax. I'm trying to tell you what to do first. Y'all trying to skip steps and ask your head, listen, chill. Chill out. Corey G says, bro, you made this process clear. Thank you. Peace and love. Peace and love. Folks who understand the process. Victor says it can't be any clearer. But look, check this out. Starting off, you send a dispute letter, right? But attach the blank W-9 with this, all right? You're doing your job. I hereby give you 10 days to reply to this notice from the above date with a notice sent using recorded post, which will be certified mail. Certified mail. And for those out here who don't know what certified mail means, I'm going to show you what it means. Okay? I need y'all to understand what it means. This is certified mail right here. The green card. The green card. Okay? Certified mail. Green card. Get this certified. Use the green cards. Okay? Use these and the green cards. Get it signed. Get it certified. Recorded post. Give them 10 days. Recorded post and signed under full commercial liability and penalties of perjury, assuring and promising me that all the replies and details given to the above request are true and without deception, fraud, or mischief. You said failure to provide the aforementioned documentation within 10 days from the above date to validate the debt will constitute your agreement to the following terms. Now, this is the adhesion contract. That the debt did not exist in the first place or has already been paid in full, that any damages suffered, you will be held culpable. That any negative remarks made to a credit reference agency will be removed. You will no longer pursue this matter any further. You agree to pay all the fee schedules. Now, I want to note, personal note, when your name is already set up as a trust administration, private bank, or LLC, you can act on behalf as a personal sole proprietorship, as a POA, and include your EIN number in your certificate of good standing. You know, a certificate of good standing is showing your status as an LLC. Do you follow me? So, this also states, please note, I wish to deal with this matter in writing, and I do not give your organization permission to contact me by telephone. Should you do so, I must warn you that the calls could constitute harassment, and I may take action under Section 1 of the Protection from Harassment Act of 1997 and Administration and Adjustment Act of 1970, which makes it a criminal offense for a creditor or a creditor's agent to make demands for money. which are aimed at causing alarm, distress, or humiliation because of their frequency or manner. Now, yes, you can get the certified things free at the post office. There's different ways you can send mail free as well. That's a whole different lesson on what we're going to go over that today. I do pay. I use my credit card. All right. Now, the statement of facts. For the record, and I also utilize this in court documents, okay, the same statement of facts, okay? This is how powerful it is. I got this from my actual class with Peter Lita, okay? I did this from my actual class, I was taking notes, and I came up with this dispute letter right here. So here's the statement of facts. For the record, we wish to effect payment immediately. What is the sum certain on the penal funds? Affiant, we always label ourselves as an affiant, okay? Affiant is the one who gives the spoken word, okay? You don't want to be a defendant. You don't want to be nothing else. This is your standing. This is your status so you can have standing, okay? As an affiant. Affiant is a spoken word. This brings forth life. They operate in corporations. Corpse means dead body. Corporations are dead bodies, okay? So the affiant can give the dead body life, all right? Affiant is the national of the nation and state of Georgia. Only affiant can assess the tax. Let's put it like that, because corporations can't. Only affiants can assess the tax because corporations can't. I'll say it again, only affiants can assess the tax because corporations can't. Affiant is a national of the nation or state or whatever state you're in, as contemplated by the Act of Congress, evidence and restated at 8 U.S.C. 1101, subsection A2. Again, that's 8 U.S.C. 1101, subsection A2. Affiant is aware and knows that the U.S. bankruptcy is verified in Senate Report number 93-519, 93rd Congress, First Session, 1973, Summary of Emergency Power Statutes, Executive Order 6073, 6102, 6111, and by Executive Order 6260 on March 9, 1933, under the Trading with the Enemy Act, 65th Congress, Session 1, Chapters 105, 106, October 6, 1917, and as further codified on 12 U.S.C. 95 A and B as amended. And you got to understand what Trading with the Enemy Act is. So when you're in trouble, you get in trouble. You're trading with the enemy. You're an enemy of the state. It says the state versus you, the city versus you, the county versus you, wherever jurisdiction that you're operating in, all right? I conditionally accept all the facts in the claim that the respondent can prove authority to make presentments. I conditionally accept for value, return for value, the presumption. I have a duty to show cause for actions upon proof of claim that is not public policy of the United States under HJR 192 to not pay debt with law, but instead to exchange consideration upon a dollar-for-dollar basis to discharge or offset a liability. When doing your status of corrections, it's important to put that, hey, yes, your corporation is a friend with the United States because they're now trading with a friend, okay? The state is friends with the United States. The corporations are friends with the United States because when you go back to the definition, if you owe a debt, debt is any amount owed to the United States. Debtor means a person who is liable for a debt. Debt means an amount that's owed to the United States. Then what is the United States? The United States means federal corporation. So if you owe a debt, you owe the United States federal corporation. But we understand under HJR 92, all debt is prepaid. So I conditionally accept for value in return for value the presumption I have a duty to show cause for actions upon proof of claim that it is not public policy of the United States under HJR 192 to not pay debt to the law, but instead to exchange consideration upon a dollar-for-dollar basis to discharge or offset a liability. I conditionally accept for value in return for value the presumption I have a duty to show cause for my actions with the bank or respondent upon proof of claim that without money of an account as established under Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1 of the Organic Constitution of the United States of America, in circulation, that the only commercial consideration that exists is such in every person's exemption by way of prepaid account operated by the United States and the Secretary of Treasury. Peace and love, Jennifer Smith. Affiant is aware and knows that a certificate of live birth, the certificate of title, again, affiant is aware and knows that a certificate of live birth, which is the certificate of title, certificate of ownership, is a bond. Bond means evidence of a debt. It's a debt. It serves for a debt. So affiant is aware that knows the certificate of live birth, the certificate of the title, is a bond, that evidence title held by the depository trust company, the DTCC. The issuer has legal title, and you have equitable title up until you partner up to share title with the United States SS5, which creates the uppercase name, which is surety for the vessel. The vessel is the body. The vessel is supposed to be you, and evidence on the application by length, weight, and footprints. A body manifested into the sea, a commerce. The beneficiary is supposed to be me, myself, and I, with the Depository Trust Company, DTCC, is at 5 Water Street, New York City, and operates both on the public and the private side. Under civil racketeering laws, 18 U.S.C. 1964, as corporations may have established a pattern of racketeering activity by using mail to collect unlawful debt. If proven there is a conspiracy to private property without due process, there is various constitutional injuries. Under 18 U.S.C. 241, knowledge and neglect to prevent a United States constitutional wrong. 31 U.S.C. 5118E2. This is important to know. 31 U.S.C. 5118E2. No one can ask for payment in specific coin. This is another one. 31 U.S.C. 3123. 31 U.S.C. 3123. There is no money, so no one can demand payment. The United States will discharge every debt dollar for dollar. Affiant is aware and knows that legal tender, Federal Reserve notes, are not good and lawful money of the United States. See Reigns versus State. Affiant is aware and knows that the undersigned affiant has been stopped from using and has no access to lawful constitutional money of exchange. See U.S. Constitutional Article 1, Section 10. To pay debts at law. And pursuant to H.R. 192, can only discharge fines, fees, debts, and judgments dollar for dollar via commercial paper upon a fines exemption. There are no judicial courts in America, and there have not been since 1789. Judges do not enforce statutes and codes. Executive administrators enforce statutes and codes. I hereby notice that I am the executor. This is the status now. I am the executor of the Sesame K. Vi Trust, or you could say the Social Security Trust, whatever. According to Title 26, Sections 303 and 7701, companies, corporations, and associations and trusts are all descendants. This means the uppercase name is legal title. My all uppercase name falls into this class. I direct all the affairs and financial affairs of that uppercase name. Now, this is important. This is where you assess the tax right here. The following documents are needed to move forward in these matters, which was all tax bond receipts, 1099 OIDs, 1099As, and 1099Cs. The authorization from the Internal Revenue Service to go forward with the above-mentioned account number, employee affidavit, and registration. Please provide all the following information and submit the appropriate forms and paperwork back to me along with the affidavit signed in accordance with 28 U.S.C. 1746 for validation and proof of claim. I affirm that all statement facts and information presented in this affidavit writ are correct or presented as evidence for the record. Evidence, exhibit, information, and fact are placed as evidence in this case, and as I am reserving and retaining all my rights and affirming to the best of my knowledge and belief. Don't understand. Label everything as an exhibit because they tamper with evidence if they don't acknowledge it and do anything else with it. And this, I mean, that's basically it. I mean, I'll go down to let them know, yes, we know that the U.S. federal government in the United States, they debase the organic lawful constitutional coin of the several states of the Union. The lawful coin is talking about the money. HJR 192. Y'all got the blank dispute letter right there. I gave you the ones with the names in it, showing y'all that, so y'all can come back to the video and be like, hey, what was I supposed to put here? So, I mean, that's you. That's for y'all. If y'all have words, y'all can change it. Whatever you need to change in there, do it. That's the basic dispute letter. Now, we'll go over the dispute letter too. And there's reasons why you address the CFO, the CEO. These are the board members, okay? You got to understand the plume means to deprive of feathers or to strip of honors, okay? Let's look up the word de plume. You've been following along with me for a while. You know this. De plume. Deprive a bird of feathers, strip or deprive of honor, status, or wealth. So when you get a diploma, this is what's happening to you. When you get a diploma, this is what's happening to you. Say it again. When you get a diploma, this is what's happening to you. You're depriving your wealth. You're stripping your birds of feathers. You used to be the chief. You used to be the chief of your tribes. You know, this means a higher status. Now you call them chief executive officers, chief financial officers. And that's just what it is. 31 USC 3302, custodian of money. Yes, Spirit Gang Tabernacle. Much peace and love. So understand what's going on. So with cards, same way. Make sure you do the certified mail receipt number, return receipt number. Put it on there. You gotta make sure you got the return receipt number and the certified number, right? And let them know, the CFO, the general manager, whoever it is, would your accountant please prepare and file the federal tax form 1099 OID to cover the eligible issues, product, and statutes for this. Put the account number, and this matter consists of, put your vehicle description and your VIN number. Please provide me with my copy of the 1099 OID form, as well as the forensic accounting corresponding to the FinCEN Form 101 Suspicious Activity Report. The tax in question is the original issue discount. The filing of the 1099 OID is not mandatory on my part, voluntary, but on respect by me becomes mandatory upon you, and if not compiled with, constitutes a willful failure to file for income tax. The filing of the 1099 OID is to enable the tax charge to return to the source of settlement, enclosing the escrow in exchange for the Social Security Trust account number. After filing, please return to my possession all the corresponding property that belongs to me. If a response is not received from you within 10 days of receipt of this letter, it will be assumed that you have chosen to dishonor me. And that's for the card. Attached to W-9. Send that to the CFO. Certified mail. Yeah, I know we're covering a lot today, man. And we're still going, man. We're still going. There's a lot to cover with 299 OIDs, and there's no way I can cover everything. But you have to assess it, okay? You have to assess it. And starting off, you're going to want to send them the cover letters, all right? We're going to go over the forms first, though. We got the 1096. We got the 1096, all right? With the 1096, you're going to need a 1096 for everything, all right? And when I say that, I mean you're going to need it for the 1099As. You're going to need to file a different one for the OIDs. If you do a C, you're going to have to file it for the Cs. I'm going to ask if you send a discharge instrument. You're assessing the tax. You don't have to send a discharge instrument. In the book, it shows you what to do, where to put your name on the 1040, right? You're doing the 1040. Now, you got to understand, other income is going to be from the 1096, all right? And it's going to be considered a federal withholding income, all right? Federal income tax is going to be from the 1096. You're always signing as the authorized representative, the chief executive officer, a financial officer, as long as you're filing from a position, all right? But we're sending cover letters, all right? So, before you enclose, let them know, as the principal and owner of the Social Security Trust account number, you put your number in your name in all capitalized letters, right? I request you file the federal tax forms, the 1040, the 1041, the 1099 OID, whatever it is, however you're doing it, the 1096, for the tax periods, the years in question, and any other returns that are due for me. But make sure that you put the actual years. You have to put the years. You can't just put any years. Listen, Andre Butler, man, I'm going to need you to pay attention. The credit dispute letters go to the CEOs or the CFOs of the company. Hey, man, if y'all follow along, help these people on the chat, man. Because some people just don't get it. You can say it 50 times, they're still not going to understand. Check this out. Save your questions for later, man. If somebody else is asking questions I've already covered, somebody else help dude out, man. Please file the liabilities as taxable income to me, but admit filing or posting deductions against the taxable income to me, or making adjustments to dilute the liability on taxable income, as that is a conflict of interest. The request is for return for settlement and closing in exchange for the Social Security Trust account number. You're going to have to put the actual years. The actual years, okay? Right here, I need y'all to know. Put that there in question, but put the actual years and just send it back, all right? On the 1099 OID, the correction box at the top should be checked, and also the Treasury Direct, the Social Security Trust account number is to be placed at the account number at the top of the 1099 OID form under recipient to prevent identity theft and the account being intercepted and diverted, deferred, if left open. They put by an authorized representative. This is for educational information purposes only. I need you to know that. This is important to understand what the medallion stamp is. Beer Game Tabernacle says you can go back 25 years. I don't know. I ain't never seen that. Thank you, private equity. Send a validation of debt with a blank W-9 form to the CEO, CFO of the company, sending you the bill. That's step one. Yes, sir. Send disputes to the CFO, CEO. Clint says it makes sense. Yes, says, how far can we go back to do the car payments or banks? I was always taught 36 months, because after 36 months, they're filing something called a 1099-A, which we're about to cover. We don't do EFTs, we do bills of exchange. Ozzy asks, what other instruments? What other instruments? What other instruments you're going to need? W-9. Blank. Don't fill nothing out. Attach your EIN. If your name is the trust, if your name was the LLC, whatever. Attach that EIN and attach the certificate of good standing to prove that your name is a business now. So when you're assessing a tax, if you're doing an issue with them, I would just be like, hey man, this is a business. This is supposed to be a personal loan. So that's one way to get out the debt. But we're still assessing the tax because your credit was used. Now the medallion stamp or a banker's signature guarantee can be obtained from your bank for free in most cases. And this acts as a notary, but for banking purposes. All right? It's not the same as getting something notarized. The document's warned. A notary stamp verifies your identity when you sign legal documents, whereas a medallion signature guarantee verifies your identity for the transfer of security, like the tradable assets in your retirement account, for example. When you're preparing to move these funds, the bank's officer who provides the stamp and signature is verifying your identity to the point where they'll guarantee the amount that's being transferred. When dealing with trust accounts, you're dealing with this a lot. When dealing with portfolios, you understand this. Secondly, when dealing with corporations, you want to make an individual liable, so you always send your documents via certified post. That way you always have the right to face your accuser and you know who it is and who you're actually dealing with. BBB says, can he watch this later on his own? Yes, I upload this. Everybody that's joined this class, man, listen, for the 100th time, all right, if you pay for this class, if you're in the private class, you get access to the files. Respond to the email if you don't have file access or didn't receive file access, or click the link, because this will be done after class. Every class that I do, I do the screen share. Has everybody else been having access to the classes and the screen shares? Let me know. So I know I'm not tripping because I haven't had no issues or complaints. I just tell everybody, I just need y'all to follow directions. For some reason, a lot of people don't know how to do that these days. Common sense is in common the most. I'm trying to tell you. Everybody else says yes, man. I just want y'all to listen. I appreciate y'all for letting me know. So I know I'm not tripping, man. People like to hold up class on that bullshit. Everybody's saying yes, they have access. James Lane says, I have an EIN for a family trust. Look, there's different ways to set up your trust and EINs and all that too, but we're not going over that this class. That's the status correction class. I learn how to build your business. We're doing OIDs today, okay? I'm trying to read all y'all's messages, but it keeps going up. Yes. Listen, there's ways you set up your name first. Don't just run off and get your EIN for your name and all that. Listen, if you're still hooked up to a business account or a residential house, you're still falling under their jurisdiction. So there's certain ways to set up your name. You know, if you've been following me, you've been taking my private status correction courses, then you know. And we're going over to that. Well, that's why you take the status correction class. You know, you got to learn how to get the business address, all right? There's ways you can create your virtual business address, virtual phone number, so you can set it up for a credit profile. So banks will also look at you and lend you money. Lenders can also look at your name as a business and lend you money. There's just different ways to set your name up. So, you know, just real quick, I'll cover it real quick. I think I'm even doing it in here, man. I think it's in this. Real quick, virtual address, iposted1.com. Get you a virtual address, all right? Get you a phone number, GoDaddy.com. Set your name up as a website as well, you know, just like LeBron James, you know, Donald Trump. All these people have a name as a business. Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, all right? You're going to have to set your name up with listyourself.net. This is a 411. There's so many different things you have to do to make sure it's set up as a proper business. We're not covering that today. We're not covering that today, okay? We're covering the 1099 OID process. But yes, you're going to need to get that done. You don't want to follow under their jurisdiction whatsoever, right? Now, included in the form is going to be an 8281. An 8281. The form 8281. This is included in your documents too. Look into, here it goes. Now, the 8281 is the information return for publicly offered original issue discount instruments. Now, a lot of people get confused. They're like, what am I supposed to put on a QSIP number? I don't know the QSIP number. Listen, you got a QSIP number on the back of your Social Security card. Use that one. It's attached to everything because that's where everything derives from. Your Social Security trust account, that's what you're doing it for. So all these constructive trust and minor accounts all derive from the QSIP number on the back. All I'm going to say, from my understanding and belief, that's common sense as well. I hope that makes sense. Now, I even break down how to do the 1041 with the trust and the states, because when you learn how to utilize the OID from your trust and the state, then this is the 1041, all right? And you start operating from the trust and the state. Again, same thing. Is your birth certificate not attached to your Social Security trust? Same thing. Use the number on the back. We're not talking about birth certificate bonds. You gave up the right of ownership as soon as you gave it to the Social Security trust. Your Social Security trust is the head trust in charge now. You need to understand that. That's how you're operating out here. The birth certificate is used on the private side. That's showing evidence of a bond. You follow me? Title of ownership. Yes, the number with the letter. So, the 1096, like I said, you use this first. The U.S. Department of Treasury is the bookkeeper for the United States Corporation. Unless you record the return or the tax, then they cannot do the bookkeeping for you. Unless you record the return on the tax, they cannot do the bookkeeping on it. That's why the Treasury's books are off balance. The payables and receivables are off balance because they cannot pay the payables, which is due to the people. They cannot pay the people because they have not filed the correct paperwork to get the refund on the credit that they are giving away. After 36 months, the corporations and bankers come in as the nominee and use your taxpayer identification number on the 1099-A, utilizing the debt instrument as abandoned property because you never claimed it. Whoever claims it now owns it. We also send them a blank W-9 requesting to see their tax identification number as you fill this out when starting any new bank account. We attach this to any forms when dealing with corporations utilizing our credit. The amount belonging to another person is the amount of the credit they are using, and that shall be represented as a tax when the tax is assessed. It then becomes a tax issue and tax matter, and then it becomes a return. And when you show the corporation as recipient of the funds, then the IRS shall issue you a refund. If you do not do this, then you abandon the funds, and the 1099-A is filed by the corporation, and the funds go to the corporations that filed the 1099-A. The corporations are always filing as a nominee for the true owner when you sign over the rights to your business, your name and your credit. I'm going to state this again, so I'm going to make sure y'all caught what I said. Because I'm telling y'all keep asking these questions. Shut up and listen for a second, damn it. My kids pay attention longer than y'all do, man. You feel me? So look. The amounts belonging to another person, which person means corporation as well. You gotta know that. The amounts belonging to another person is the amount of the credit they are using. And that shall be represented as a tax. When the tax is assessed, it then becomes a tax issue and a tax matter. And then it becomes a return. It becomes a tax issue, then a tax matter, and then it becomes a return. You assess it, it becomes a tax issue, then a tax matter, then it becomes a return. When you show the corporation as recipient of the funds, then the IRS shall issue you a refund. When you show the corporation as recipient of the funds, then the IRS shall issue you a refund. Talking about, why would you put yourself as recipient of the funds? You didn't receive the damn funds. If you do not do this, then you abandon the funds, and the 1099-A is filed by the corporations. And the funds go to the corporations that filed the 1099-A. The corporations are always filing as a nominee for the true owner when you sign over the rights to your business, your name and credit. So what I'm saying is, you sign over your rights to your corporation, and you do what they do. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. You do what they do, damn it. It's not hard. You don't know why people ain't tell you this. You're going to get mad and go against them. No, hey, look, they my friends, bro. I'm doing what they doing. Birds of a feather flock together, damn it. I'm doing what they doing. They my homies. You feel me? I'm rocking with the U.S. stuff. Hey, pimpin'. You feel me? I'm doing what they doing. Look. When it comes to Jeffrey, McBride Jr., you know the straw man name? Look. That's a corporation, homie. I represent that corporation. You know, I represent that. I know you don't own them. I'm operating as holder in due course. I'm operating as chief executive officer because I'm beneficial interest. Do you feel me? That makes sense. You got to learn how to operate out these positions and titles. You claim to be an authorized representative, you need to learn how to operate as an authorized representative. That's like being an employee kind of. You get what I'm saying? You're working for Target, now you're an authorized representative for Target. You got your name badge. You follow me? Everything is a tax issue under the bankruptcy of the United States corporations. Everything is a tax issue. We still got much to cover. Learn the matrix and control the matrix. Yes, yes indeed. I'm trying to make this make sense as possible. The sole proprietorship is the simplest business form under which one can operate a business. The sole proprietorship is not a legal entity. It simply refers to a person who owns the business and is personally responsible for its debts. A sole proprietorship can operate under the name of its owner, or it can do business under a fictitious name. All right? When you are born, a birth certificate is created. A birth certificate is just simply put a title of ownership which has created beneficial interest within everything you shall own. Sole means one. Hence, sole prop. They prop the sole of your foot as soon as the Social Security number is established, your taxpayer identification number. That is your private banking number set up for the Social Security Administration Trust. The benefits are tied to you being able to utilize the trust certificate units from the Federal Reserves, which is under the In God We Trust. Yes, that is the name of the trust, the In God We. That's the name of the trust, the In God We. When you get the birth certificate, this shows that you have beneficial interest in the In God We Trust, the In God We Trust. The Constitution is considered to be an express trust. When you go into any courtroom, you are creating a constructive trust. This is a different topic for a different book, but as of right now, let's stick to the sole prop business and the tax. So, on the private side is your birth certificate. On the public side is the sole prop business. I'll say it again. On the private side, that's your birth certificate trust. It's tied to your Social Security trust, okay? And on the public side, it's the sole prop as a business, as a legal entity in commerce. And those are definitions, again, they're included in the book. As you can see, all courts or tax courts and all debts are owed to the United States corporation. If you continue to read Section 15, you shall see that the United States is indeed a corporation. Also, a note to mention, Section 10, person means corporation. Then again, this is why you are considered a sole prop corporation. And your body, labor, and even well-being can be attached as collateral for any mishaps of the business due to you not having proper standing. By updating your status, which is highly recommended you do before moving forward with any 1099 OID process. As your birth certificate is the title that shows beneficial ownership, so this is the private side. The public side is the money. How are you acting, in what character or title are you acting from? With the Social Security number, you are acting as a slave, as a social worker for the EIN, the employer identification number, because socials always work for EIN. Employees are slaves and employees and employers are the masters. As a social, always works for the EIN. From a limited liability company, you would act from a member or just an authorized representative, so to speak. With corporations, you act from a chief executive standpoint or even president or vice president. From the trust standpoint, you always operate from the grantor or administrator. When dealing with your private affairs within a public play, these are all different forms of status right there. All different forms of status right there. From a limited liability company, you would act from a member or even a manager, okay? Or an authorized representative. With corporations, you act from a chief executive standpoint, president, chief financial officer, vice president. From a trust standpoint, you operate from the grantor, administrator, beneficiary, trustee. When dealing with your private affairs within a public play, does this make sense? Let me know that this makes sense. Private equity says, always read, preach. He's telling me, preach. Why? The OID methods. Now, this is going to show you right here, breaking it down, how to fill out the 1099A and the 1099 OID. Everybody's letting me know it makes sense. Absolutely. Everybody says. Victor says, absolutely. Nicole, guest gave a thumbs up. Nicole says it makes sense. Gregory Taylor says it makes sense. Ozzy says it makes sense. So if this makes sense and you go do it, you make sure you drop your boys donation and you get your shit back. Listen. When you get a bill from, keep your receipts, bills from Walmart, everything, these are bills of exchange. You get this back. Because they don't accept gold and silver. That's lawful currency is gold and silver. They don't accept that shit. They're operating under the bankruptcy. The bankruptcy. Bills of exchange. And you get bills back for this. For them utilizing your credit. So please read through instructions completely before beginning. Before you begin, please keep in mind there are 3 forms on each sheet of the 1099-A. This is also true for the 1099 OID, but until just recently, the Form 1099 OID now has 2 forms to fill out, but it does not change anything. Starting with the first box labeled lender's name, etc. Enter your all capitalized name, information, name, address, etc. or the information as recorded on the bill, just like it's on the bill, whatever bill you're assessing. You're using your debit card, whatever name's on the debit card, on that receipt, you follow me? Because that number is attached to that name. This is an account. Number 2, lender's federal ID number. This is going to be the Social Security trust number. And you put it in the EIN box. You put it in the EIN format, such as 12-3456789. Number 3, borrower's ID number. Enter the borrower and the biller EIN. This may be available on your wages and income tax statement received from the IRS. If unknown, leave blank. Because when you send them your packet, you're going to send them a packet of copies of the affidavits you sent. This is your evidence. Because all courts are tax courts. IRS is the real court. 4, the borrower's name. Enter the information of whomever was paid, the debtor or the biller. If for a court case, enter the judge or prosecutor's name. All right? If for a court case, enter the judge or prosecutor's name. See instructions for box 1 below. The address will be headquarters of the debtor or the address of the court proceedings. And it's easy. I know y'all, a lot of y'all out there are lazy. Look, check this out. Say we need Wells Fargo, right? Wells Fargo, headquarters address, boom. Simple Google search, you'll be able to get it. Mailing addresses, boom, San Francisco, right? I'm going to click so y'all can see it. I'm going to take you all the way there. I want to half-ass it for y'all. Boom, corporate addresses. Boom, so this is the one I would use right there. Now, check this out. If you want to get deep down and personal, for real, and really fill it out all the way, you can find most of these companies' EIN numbers. They're going to be registered with the SEC. See, this is what a lot of people don't understand. The SEC is the Securities and Exchange Commission. These people all have accounts and have to register with the Securities and Exchange Commission. There is their EIN number right there. So when doing this, you can, listen, you assess it, they don't want to give it to you, you can go ahead and look it up and still input their EIN number, okay? This is their banking number, their banking details. You got to understand, corporations and companies are established to benefit the public interest. They're set up for the public and operating on the public's credit. They cannot operate without your credit. Understand that. So, now, the lender's information, box 1. This will be the date of your last statement or bill received for the following year. For a mortgage, car note, or other transaction with a promissory note attached, this will be the date you signed for the note. Now, let me go back right here, the account number. You will enter the tracking or account number, the account and routing number if for a banking transaction. Enter the case number for a court case. That's the account number. The court case, then that's the count. The court case is the account number because that's the constructed trust number, okay? But you have to understand that identifies the constructed trust. Now, back to box 1. For a court case, this will be the date the case was filed using the opposing attorney as debtor. This will be the date judgment was issued and the name of the judge as debtor for cases where judgments have been passed. For debts listed on your credit report, enter the date you will assess your report. Box 2, balance of principal outstanding. This will be the total payments and or deposits made to that account or vendor that year. For a promissory note or mortgage, the value of the note or mortgage. Please note, for promissory notes, mortgage transactions, the value of the note will be one claim filed on your 1099. So total payment subsequently made to that account will be a separate claim. Box 4, fair market value of property. Enter the total from box 2. Box 5, check yes. Box 6, description of property. Enter the following based on the type of transaction credit used on checking account, savings account, court judgments, mortgage notes, car notes, utility bills, rental agreements, miscellaneous. Use these last two only if you have an account or tracking number for those transactions. With regard to notes, please be sure to differentiate in your description that one claim is for the note and one is for the payments. Example, John enters credit used on mortgage note for the note itself, then credit used on mortgage account for the payments made. Once completed, the information on these forms 1099A needs to be entered onto a form 1096. This form will serve as the cover letter for your completed forms 1099A. Now, let me take you to a 1099A example. So that's the actual 1099A example right here. As you can see, this was done with the bank. I'm not sure. The Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond wants to owe them some money. I don't know if I want to use that one. All right. I got ones about Patrick Devine too, so let's check out Patrick Devine. Let's see what he did. All right. You put the borrower's identification number as the EIN. The lender was the Social Security. So you're on the 1099A, you are going to be the lender. The foreign postal codes, you know, this is your the Secretary in care of the Secretary of Treasury. If you know how to do your proper powers of attorney, POAs, your power of attorney, all right? Those powers of attorney you do have to create, all right? And one of them is going to be the Treasury of Puerto Rico when doing your status correction, all right? Now, description of this property will be redemption of credits address. He's doing credits right here, but when dealing with a bank or dealing with your debt, it's just a little bit different, man. Let's see what he's doing right here. Yeah. Assess the tax. You're acquiring it. I just put some different examples in there, but I'm going to look for this. The way that you're supposed to do it is right here, according to this. So here's the 1096, right? Fill that out. That's just the cover letter. You did this for the OIDs and the A's. We do the A's first. Three to 5 days before you send in your OIDs, do the A first. Check this out. Here's the actual A description, okay? When dealing with debts, okay? So boom, the lender's name is going to be you. You're the lender. The borrower's name is going to be the corporation that says you owe the debt in their headquarters, okay? The account number is going to be your account number. If you don't have the account number, I appreciate you, Victor. He sends a donation. But look, if you don't have the account number, you just also, man. But you should have an account number, all right? Borrower's identification number is going to be their EIN. Corrected should be marked, right? Description of the property, credit used on the mortgage. That's what this says. With this credit used on the auto loan account, right? Credit used on the utility account. Then you put the amounts that's in the bill for the entitled year or whatever you're assessing it for. So this one right here, if you did it for 2020, you would do it for the entire year. And then you put the 1096 on top. So say you had 10 bills, right? Then you would mark that you had 10. You had 10 of them. You would put 10 right here on the 1096, and then you would mark 1099A. So there's the cover letter for the 1096. And then whatever the total amount is for all the debts, you're going to add all this up. And this is going to be your federal income tax. Now, with the OID, it's the same way. So I just want you to see it. I want y'all to see it in your vision first while I'm reading it. I'm about to go back up and read what it says about how to fill out the 1099 OID. All right? Now that you have completed the Form 1099A process and given the IRS time to investigate your claims, 2 weeks should be sufficient. That's what this says. I always give them about 5. I give them about a week. You are ready to proceed with the forms. 1099 OID. This form is used to request the funds recorded on the Forms 1099A to be moved from the debtor vendor biller's account to your treasury account, then issued back to you in the form of a refund. You will need the copies of your Form 1099A to ensure your Forms 1099 OID are filled out correctly. For this process, you will be transferring the information from the Forms 1099A to the Forms 1099 OID with a few adjustments. Form 1099 OID instructions, starting with the first box labeled payer's name, etc. Enter the borrower's information, name, address, etc. as recorded on your Form 1099A. Payer's federal ID number, leave blank unless known. Recipient's ID number, enter your Social Security number in standard form. That would be 123-45-6789, just like you would any other time. Just like you would enter your social any other time on the recipient ID number. Recipient name, enter the lender information as recorded on Form 1099A in proper English, upper and lower. Example, like your name is supposed to really be spelled. The same should be done with your address information. Account number, this will be the same account transaction information recorded on the Form 1099A. Back to the top of the Form 1099 OID. Original issue discount, this will be the amount entered in Box 2, Box 4 of your Form 1099A. Box 2, leave blank. Box 3, leave blank. Box 4, federal income tax withheld. Enter amount recorded in Box 1 unless the transaction is from an account from which cash should be acquired. Checking or savings accounts. In this case, subtract 10% from the amount recorded in Box 1. Box 5, description. Enter your strawman name in all caps. Box 6 and 7, leave blank. Once completed, the information on these forms 1099 OID needs to be entered onto a Form 1096. This form will serve as the cover letter for your Form 1099 OIDs when they're completed. And you do that just like you did for the A. Now, the 1040 form, we're dealing with the 1040. Before you start assessing the tax when you're operating from the trust, that's the 1041. When you're operating from the trust in the state, that's the 1041. But starting off, you're using the 1040, all right? So the 1040, Form 1040 can either be ordered from the IRS via the website or phone, acquired at your local library, IRS office, etc., right? As you complete this form, please keep in mind that you are filing as a creditor, not a debtor. You will take claim to no exemptions or credits. Fill out as you would for a standard filing using your all caps for your entries. The filing status, for the sake of ease and simplicity, please check box 1 single. Exemptions. You will take no exemptions. Exemptions are for debtors and not creditors. This process is for creditors only. Skip this section. Income. Line 7. Enter information from your W-2 wages, salaries, tips, etc. Line 21. On the blank line, enter C-1099 OID. In the box on the same line, enter the total form box 4 of the form 1096 completed for your form 1099 OID, federal income tax withheld. Line 22. Enter the total form box on line 21. Adjusted gross income. Skip the line 37. Line 37. Enter the total from box on line 21. Taxes and credits. Skip to this section. Line 38. Enter the total from line 37 for the instructions. Line 40. Enter 0. Line 41. Enter total from line 38. Line 43, 44, 46, 55, 56. Enter 0. Other taxes. Skip to line 61. Line 61. Enter 0. Payments. Line 62 and 71, enter total from line 38. Refund, line 72 and 73A. Enter total from line 38. The remaining entries ask where you wish to have your refund sent and other information. Make sure it suggests that you have your funds directly deposited to a business account. Only corporations can receive these taxes, okay? Sign the bottom of your return as the authorized representative and you are done. So the form 1040 for instructions for your proper filing locations. Insert Schedule B instructions here. When preparing your return, be considerate to the agent who will be examining your documents and stack them in order. 1040, 1096, and 1099 OID. Nothing should be stapled. Be sure to make a copy of documents for your records and sending all originals to the IRS. So there's the 1096 for the 1099 OID, 1099A, 1099 OID. Boom, there it is right there. It's really easy. The payer is going to be them on the OID. The recipient is going to be you. And this is because you already did the A. So now you are going to be the recipient of the funds. First, you wasn't the recipient of the funds. Okay? I need you to understand this. First, you was not recipient of the funds. But now you're going to be recipient of the funds because you assessed it with the 1099A. Does this make sense? Yes, Victor says a gentleman always gives notice. We always give them notice. No, you're not trying to get lines of credit. What they're giving you is a line of credit anyways from their trust fund. You gotta understand, everything is issued as a line of credit. Yes, that's what I said. Kim, yes. You assess the tax with your bills of exchange. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Whether you go to stores, whatever, you're using your bills of exchange. Someone says, can you pay tax bills? You can't pay anything, man. You assess the tax. We already went over tax bills yesterday and status correction. You better read the class from yesterday. It's part to do with status correction when you get a tax bill. And it's probably due because you didn't OID anything. You didn't assess the tax. That's why you have a tax bill. There's more on here. People keep asking the same question. I'm not gonna keep asking this. I'm not gonna keep answering the same questions I've been going over all fucking day today. Listen. If you got the link, that's access to all the classes for the last time. If you don't have the link, can somebody put it in the box for them, help these classmates along for these slow motherfuckers that is not catching up? You dig what I'm saying? Yes, check the YouTube for classes too. If you're a YouTube member, you got access to the private files. And I showed y'all that in the beginning because I get people hitting me up crying all the time. because they're slow. And then they want to label your boy a scam because you're slow and retarded. I don't even pay attention to that shit no more. Real shit. Everything you need is in the emails. Yes, sir. That's what Vicky says. Thank you. Exactly. Yes. There's the link for the 50th time tonight. We saw your OID video last week. You have a hefty check coming. Yes, I still got letters, man. I still got letters. I have $183,000 supposed to be on the way. Yes. Now, there's a lot of just about the 1099 OID process in this book that I put together for you. Now, I talk to y'all just like I talk to my people because y'all need to catch up. But you need to understand WA-BAN. We went over WA-BAN in yesterday's class as well. Because you want to have, and there's the template for the WA-BAN. It's on page 113 in the OID book. You're going to want to have your status corrected properly when dealing with these people. All right? When dealing with the government period, or dealing with these corporations period, you're going to want to have your political status together. So, you know, I went over the WA-BAN in detail yesterday, and it's also in this book, so you're going to have to do a little reading on your own. I put pictures in there. Did y'all see I put pictures in there for y'all so y'all don't get too bored? You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people, our people don't like to read, so they need pictures. I put pictures in the book for y'all, man. I know because I did a lot of facts. I put a lot of facts. But yeah, there's a lot about the WA-BAN. There's a lot about operating as an employee or a person and different things. So, over 200 pages for you right there in the 1099 OID class, and that's what's included. And I also put other things. So, don't forget to include this top page of your OID is going to be the form 8281. Information returned for publicly offered original issue discount instrument. 8281. Also, I include identity theft affidavits when dealing with corporations if they don't want to issue the OID on your behalf. Now they're utilizing your credit. It's identity theft. I hope that makes sense. This is identity theft. When they utilize your credit and they don't want to issue the OID, then it's identity theft. All right? And that's just what it is. And then if you're going to send a true identity statement when dealing with these people, let them know. Because when you send identity statements, it's just distinguishing you from the all-capitalized name. Anytime you're doing identity statements, and I think I did put another certificate of identity in there for the one that I actually utilize. Y'all see me utilizing the videos. People are always asking, where did you get that from? I got that from one of Patrick Devine's courses. And I think I actually put that in here for you guys. Right here, 03, yes. 0385, and this is with the Department of the Treasury, all right? And I actually utilize this form right here. It is the Certificate of Identity with the Department of Treasury and the Bureau of Public Debt. This is the actual document I use for my identity when dealing with these people. Yes, national passport was also included with your corrector status. Yes. So I just want y'all to know the different things that I utilize. Listen, now, here's the form if you want to mail it in for an EIN for an individual banker. This is the SS4 for an individual banker. You would be the chief financial officer for a private unincorporated bank holding individual private estate and foreign grantor trust properties. And even with some definitions. The settler, the creator of a trust, who has conveyed or transferred property to another who is to hold the same as trustee for the benefit of a third person or persons. The person who furnishes the consideration for the trust, even though informs the trust is created by another person. So, you know, this is, you send this all in. Be the individual banker. All right? have your own trust administration going on. Beer Gang Tabernacle says he already has his. So I want you to know, man, it's laid out. I gave you the templates. You just have to do it. Now, I'm going to go over. So, listen, man, somebody said he already has the tax, right? Victor says, watch the videos, people. It's all in there. You must watch it a minimum of 7 times, and I promise you, you will start to overstand. It will start to sink in, and it will. It's because we blank out. That's all that happens. We go somewhere else. Individual bankers for trust. Yes, that's what it is. Now look, check this out. What kind of tax? Someone says, what if you owe a tax? What kind of tax do you have? First, you have to assess it. Someone obviously assessed for tax, allowed you to assess the tax on you. So look, now, this right here, when you're assessing this tax right here, this is for a property tax right here, all right? So I did include a letter for a property tax. Now, to assess a property tax. Now, if you go to the class from yesterday, which I'll put it in the 1099 OID as well, because I want y'all to know what's going on, man. I don't know if this one's it. Let me see. Advanced status, okay. So, I put up there, y'all can't be skipping classes. Y'all skip classes, y'all ain't going to get all this information. I'm trying to tell you. These are in the advanced status corrections. First day. This is from yesterday. We went over the W-8. Boom. Tax exemption status. We went over all how to be a non-taxpayer. Tax exemption. It starts with status correction first. Affidavit or tax exempt foreign status. If your status is updated correctly, you never have to. They're not going to send you a tax because you're not falling under their jurisdiction. There's different things that make you follow under their jurisdiction. Well, I think that was it. Let me see. Yeah, these are all the reasons why we don't have to, these are all, I'm a non-resident alien. I derive no gross income from sources within the United States. A natural born citizen. This is called tax exempt status. We went over this yesterday. So watch the class from yesterday. This is what I would send them. Your actions. Someone asked, what can pull you back into the jurisdiction? Your words and actions, your verbal contracts and your actions. You doing their rituals. Yes, a W-2 is an OID. It's a form of OID. You're gifting your estate. But yes, your actions and your words will actually get you back under their jurisdictions, accepting their privileges and benefits. Yes, yes. You get food stamps. Boom. You're going to court saying you understand shit. You're signing shit. You are not supposed to need shit from them. You make your social work for your EIN. The only time you operate out here is from a trust or the EIN. That's it, period. So, tax exempt status. You got to make sure it's on the record. Make sure it's on the record. Now, I will bring up something real quick. So we got the Secretary of Treasury of Puerto Rico. We got the Secretary of Treasury, Steve Mnuchin. And then we got D.C., our local counties, our Secretary of State. Those are the main people we update our status with. The IRS, of course. So, there's another statement for identity. I'll be breaking the game down for y'all, man. Make sure you go through that 1099 OID book. Keep looking over it. You gotta listen, a minimum of 21 days. It takes 21 days to create a new habit. 90 days to create a new lifestyle. Oh yeah, so I did promise y'all something. I almost forgot too. So who owns the national debt, right? So debts held by the public, 77%. This is going to be $21 trillion, okay? $21 trillion is what they owe the public. I need you to know that. Now, with that being said, OID is part of the process, I do believe, to get this back. All right? The debt is $27 trillion. $21 trillion is what they owe the people. Social Security Trust Fund. All right? And this is the national debt. With that being said, James Lander says 12 USC 1411 works for him on the 2019 taxes he submitted. 12 USC 1411. Let's look that up. All right. Insurance to reserve banks, nature of obligation, redemption. Federal Reserve notes to be issued at the discretion of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System for the purpose of making advances to Federal Reserve banks through the Federal Reserve agents as herein set forth and for no other purpose are authorized. The said notes shall be obligations of the United States and shall be receivable by all national and member banks and Federal Reserve banks, and for all taxes, customs, and other public dues. They shall be redeemed in lawful money on demand at the Treasury Department of the United States in the city of Washington, District of Columbia, or at any Federal Reserve bank. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a great one. So all they can give you is credit because they don't have no gold. All they can do is issue you credit. Like I said, someone asked, OIDs for the LLCs. No, you would do it for the trust. You do it for the trust in the state. You do a 1041. Or you do it as a 1040 as well. You would go, your LLC, you need to be classified as a disregarded entity if you're operating as a national, because your LLC is going to be made private. It's going to be made private because you sell the beneficial interest to your trust, which is a whole different class. That's the private class of dealing with your business, which is just OID. James Lander said, with that, they paid him back his federal withholdings. All his federal withholdings. Everything is obligations of the United States. They have to give you everything in lawful money. Thank you for sharing that, James Lander. You know, the man for lawful money. I would use that in a court issue as well. So, I'm going to put Instagram. If y'all know me on the Instagram, Don Kilam, right? I'm about to go live on the Instagram. If y'all want to chat. Also, now would be the time to put the questions. I'm going to answer some of y'all's questions. So make sure you put your questions in the box, in the chat box. But I'm also going to go live on the Instagram. Answer some of y'all's questions. If anybody wants to chat on the Instagram. All right, man. Much peace and love. It's your boy Malik Kilam, also known as DonKilam.com. I'm in the building. With the 1099 OID class, we still got a little under 50 people in the OID class. I'll do this for educational, informational purposes only. It's a great class. We've been going in, man. a little over 2.5 hours, and I haven't even been feeling for an L yet. You know what I'm saying? But yes, make sure you go to Don_Kalam right now. I'm live right now. If you want to join in on the live, because I'd rather do that. Because when I unblock everybody and unmute people, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I can. Okay, so I can unmute people. So look, if you got some questions, you want to talk to me, I'm gonna unmute you. Just put me or something in the chat, like I'm ready to talk. Let me know you want to talk, because I see that it'll let me unmute you. So if you got some questions, just put Kenny. Kenny says me. All right. Yes. Appreciate your time as well. But look, I'm looking for you, Kenny. I'm looking for you, Kenny. If anybody else out there got some questions, let me know. I'm looking for Kenny's right now. Stevie B says legal Zoom. I guess it's good. I would do it myself. I wouldn't use legal Zoom. You need to do it yourself, so you understand what's going on. Way cheaper. I don't see your name, man. I'm looking for your name. Let's see. I have to pull them up. My computer going hella slow. Cause if I already know, man, if I unmute everybody, it's gonna be loud as a motherfucker. I ain't trying to hear this shit. All right, we got Rose Gold. He said, let's see. Kenny L, you gonna have to have an Instagram. Hop on the IG, brother. And hit request. I'm live in the IG right now on the Instagram. All right, here we go. Request. I'm live in the IG right now on the Instagram. Hey, turn that down, man. Much peace and love, though. Can you hear me? Ken.
Yeah.
Peace and love. What's good?
Hey, what's the matter?
Man, I found your name finally. What's up, though? Turn that down, man.
Listen, I got a loan, right? Yeah, I can hear you.
Peace and love. What's good?
How you be?
Hey, what's the matter? Man, I found your name. Hey, turn that down. Turn that down.
And what I did, I closed.
Hey, turn that down. Turn that down.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but you know I'm turning that echo down, man.
That's what I'm trying to do. What about now?
I don't hear it. Yeah, you good now?
Okay, this is what I did. I got a loan from a mortgage company. Before I could pay the first mortgage, they switched it to another mortgage company. So,
all right, yeah, this ain't the mortgage class, man. Yeah, the mortgage is something totally different.
But it's still dealing with discharging the debt, right?
Yeah, but it's a totally different process. You know, the mortgage and foreclosure process, that's going to be in January.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with that today. We're just doing OIDs, brother.
Okay, so
you have to do a 1096. You have to do a 1066. You have to assess taxes with a lot of different people. You're going to have to put a lot of different people on notice. Attorney General, Secretary of State, Chief Executive, Chief Officer, Supreme Court, Attorney General's Office, SET, FTC. That's something totally different. That's a whole nother 5-hour lecture.
Islam.
Yeah, I told you that in the chat, brother. Y'all gotta start being mindful, brother. Why y'all be so hard-headed?
No, that ain't it. Listen,
Straight up,
when
man.
you said something about the OID, all I'm doing is trying to discharge the debt that they trying to, because I've been fighting with them in court. I done
Ain't no
demonstrated
debt. Ain't even no debt. You accessing your
Islam.
credit back, pimping.
Islam, we draw.
Shit, only Jesus died for your sins, baby.
Shit me.
But yeah, much peace and love, man. Yeah, that's a totally different process, man. Take the foreclosure class, man, and the mortgage class. You know, I pull up on people all the time. I help them with that. That's a different class, but it's pretty much the same. But, you know, I got a 20-page dispute letter starting off for mortgages. It's a whole different dispute letter.
Islam.
You dig what I'm saying? Because what they're doing is they convert the property, they convert the land into property. They convert the land patents into property descriptions. That's where the fraud starts to occur.
Right. And they don't record the promissory note.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Much peace and love, man. Much peace and love.
Islam. Gratitude.
Yes, sir. Gregory, tell us, is yo Don, you mentioned having receipts for the 1099 OID. Can you use bank statements in lieu of the receipts? So yes, there is a new rule that if it is less, if it's over $75, you can just use your bank statements now in case of an audit. Yes. Under 75, anything over $75, you can use your bank statement. EIN is part of the status correction on the public side. You got to understand, trust is the private side. Your LLC is the public side. You already have one. You already have a trust on the private side. You already have a business on the public side. You got to learn how to do the same shit yourself and learn how to operate the trust on the private side and learn how to operate your assets in your business on the public side. Because on the public side, it's going to be considered an asset or a business. Everybody out here claiming they got UCC1s out here. I have a security agreement. It's a securitization. Are you making money off it? Follow me? You're not doing shit with it. DPB says, I don't understand. What don't you understand? That's what I would say if I was in court. I don't understand. Listen, if you're following along, we're doing the 1099 OID class. We're finishing up the 1099 OID class. If you have questions about the 1099 OID, let me know. We got mental more. All right. All right. We already had Kenny L, right? And mental more. We got Makita Skincare in the building. Peace and love to her as well. Hey, peace and love. Hey, Islam, what's up? What's up, Emperor? You said you who? Stevie B? And you lost about LLC. LLC is a limited liability company, man. I wouldn't use LegalZoom. Where you at? So you need to go to the Maine Secretary of State website. You follow me? That's what you needed to know. Now look, check this out. We're going to go ahead and touch it since this is the end of the class. Now, when dealing with your name, creating it as a business, you need to have a virtual business address. All right? You make it a business, right? Virtual business address. This is so you're setting it up so you can get credit at the end of the day. You can get funding at the end of the day from lenders. Okay? So check this out. Virtual business address, get you a business phone number, a business email address, a website. You know, we get the virtual addresses from ipostal1.com. GoDaddy, we get the phone number, we get the website, we get the email. You know, then you go to listyourself.net and then you list yourself with 411 for free. You put your business on Google Maps, you know, and then you list yourself with Duns and Bradstreet. You know, you create your EIN. Once you get this, all you get is you get this all created, and you create your EIN with the IRS. Yes, with your virtual address and all that. So this shit don't get tied to your residential address. You're not being in their jurisdiction. And then as soon as you set it up with the Secretary of State in Maine where you're at, right? And then you would sell, because you would be the member. You would be the member or the manager, right? And then you would sell the beneficial interest of your business under a bill of sale to your trust. No, trust is a private bank. It's a private holding. See, you need to do some more study, brother. Do some more study, yes, sir. Trust is a separate entity. A trust can act as a person. It can do everything except vote. No, it has nothing to do with your trust. A private trust. Trust is operating in private. You sign everything over to the trust, yes. Beneficial interest. You know, now, on the flip side, if you want to keep it on the public, I would set up, Delaware is not far from you, right? So Delaware has clauses with LLCs. You can set up a LLC in Delaware as your holding company. Instead of utilizing the trust, you can just sell beneficial interest to the LLC in Delaware and make Delaware own your LLC in Maine. They have certain laws intact that will keep you anonymous and safe, and you don't even have to file taxes on your LLC if the one in Delaware owns your main LLC. So how you would do it, you would set it up as a member in Delaware, and then your Delaware LLC would be the manager or the sole member of your LLC in Maine. You follow me? All right, so that's just with the public side if you don't even want to utilize any trust at all, but I would always utilize the trust. Yes. Yeah, so, yeah, it starts with just declaring it and knowing it first. Now, look, check this out. If you just want to get your nationality together, you can go to the Moorish Consulate. Google Moorish Consulate by Taj Tariq Bey. He gets the documents free for nationality. Yes, sir. Much peace and love, King. Right. Let me see who else in here, man. Who else trying to request, man? Let me know. We got, so let me know. Y'all can keep putting questions in. So when getting the EIN for the private trust, would you also get a virtual address for the trust? Yes, I would. I would make the virtual address the same as my LLC. Hey, peace and love, King. How you feeling? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. Hey, listen, man. I appreciate that you get it. Yeah, I do I be spoon feeding them. I do my best to spoon feed the people so they can get it, man. So they can get it. Right, right. Hey man, hey, I salute you for that, man. I appreciate that because a lot of people, man, you know how they be trying to hate on your boy. They be trying to withhold information from y'all, man. Yeah, man, I need us to get and understand. Cause look, listen, if you already understand, man, if melanated people are left alone, they become spiritual by nature anyway. They become God's body by nature. That's their natural design. Your natural design as a melanated being, if you think you're considered black, bruh, I feel like your obligation in life is to be a guardian of the galaxy. When I look at black people, I shake my head. You hear me? Because I'm like, damn, that's God. That's the God and the goddess right there. That when I see a black man, a black woman, and a black child, to me, that is the Trinity right there. It, it, we ain't gonna talk about motherfucker can't never say anybody's racist because there's only one race. We can call it the human race, whatever you want to call it. You follow me? There's only one race, but you are a different shade for a different reason. And it used to be the darker you are, the more title you had. You dig what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if the shades have anything to do with anything, but I'm just letting you know on my beliefs and the truth that I'm studying. I believe the darker you are, the more sunlight you have in you. Oh yeah, everybody, everybody. I believe, I truly believe, once you tap into the truth, you're gonna become melanated by nature. And it's because, listen, man, if I go out in nature and the sun gives me cancer, then I'm not natural. The sun killed me. That means you're at a war against yourself, and it's due to you not being truthful to your subconscious and not going with the flow of nature. Look, if we go with the flow of nature, because nature is the divine blueprint of life. So as above, so below. So we talk about this COVID shit, and not to get off topic, but is the animals dying? You feel me? Is animals just falling dead out here? Ain't no virus then. Right. That's it. Okay. All right. They gave you the funds. Okay. Okay. Right. 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 Oh shit. Me too. Me too. That's how I learned. Yes, sir. Cause you've already been going through the process. You've already been going through the process. Right. That's it. Right. That's it. You had to sit down with the treasury. Right. Right. Yeah, I'm listening. Right. So you got the right. Go get that, man. Much peace and love, man. Yes, sir. I appreciate you joining the class, man. Much peace and love. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Enjoy your night, King. Hey, yeah, man. I'm gonna put you in, Lucky. I see you, Lucky. Lucky, get back on. This is unable to join, man. I sent you a request. So if I was working for a company, I could file the tax forms to receive all the funds. Yes, sir. Peace and love. Can you hear me? All right, what's good, King? Hey, you can get the I hear the echo in the background. me hear. Yeah, I can still hear myself. What, you still got the class on? Ask me if the non-name number is needed for the private trust or the EN is sufficient. The EIN is sufficient. No, I can still hear my the phone. All right, what was it on speaker? Turn it, see if you can turn it down a little bit. All right. I can kind of hear myself, but yeah, I can still hear it, man. This shit loud, man. You ain't got no headphones? Yeah, man, I'm gonna beam you back in a little bit. Yeah, he's close to the mic, man. Wasn't he? I did not like hearing the echo of the yes. You saying you can OID every check you got from your employer. Yes. Someone asked what to do next. Peace and love, peace and love. How you feeling today, King? Yes, sir. You do not need, you do not, now, that's where everybody be thinking they need a 9A number. You do not need a 9A number. The United States is a foreign jurisdiction to wherever you're at. I don't care if you're in Missouri, California, I don't care where you're at. You do not need a 9A number. You know what I'm saying? And especially, it's out of country, usually when you get a 9A number. If you don't have access to that location, you're not doing business in that location, why would you get a 9A number? So yes, you just get a regular trust number, whether it's revocable or irrevocable. You need to understand they don't have jurisdiction. They get jurisdiction over your body when you start signing over powers of attorney to them. This is why it's important to know who you are, understand you're bigger than that name. Who are you? Follow me? What? The IRS what? I mean, why are you getting a 9A number? Do you have a business in another country? Why are you looking to get a 9A number? Who told you to get a 9A? Who told you to get a 9A number? I didn't even talk about. Yeah, that's them. We're not. That's them, not me. So, and are they operating from that estate, that 9A number? Did they got millions? How many millions did they make this year? And how many other people are they helping? He told you if you want a 9A number, but Patrick Devine told you that. I know this, because why you say that then? You know, you bringing other people's shit into our, listen, you don't need a 9A number. What you need a 9A number for? 9A number is a foreign EIN number. Do you have a foreign business? All right. Do you have access to a foreign address? So there's no way I would create a foreign 9A EIN number if you don't have none of those established. If you want to create an offshore account, what account? This account is not yours first and foremost if you did not create the trust. The birth certificate is not yours. That's the county. That's the state. The Social Security trust is not yours. You're just acting as a slave for that shit. You got to create your own shit, a corporation, then access it from that slave. Follow me. No, we don't do DBAs either. LLCs. A DBA is just like a sole proprietor. You're still going to be held liable. Who is this? Who is they? Listen, I want to talk to people getting money. Has he made millions off his estate by accessing different shit? Don't bring different gurus in our conversation, pimping, because I don't talk about different gurus and different gurus' names. You know, I brought up some Patrick Devine shit, but I'm not going to talk about different gurus' names, and I don't give a fuck how they get paid. But they're feeding you a bunch of different information that's not showing you how to access cash, credit, or anything for your estate.
Right.
You follow me?
Right.
So,
Okay.
go ahead. You dig what I'm saying? If people would do a lot of studying, they would catch a lot of contradictions in most of these gurus anyways. You dig what I'm saying? Listen, I'm operating out here off business credit. You know what I'm saying? I'm operating out here off trust. I'm operating out here off stocks and bonds and portfolios. Follow me? I got portfolios with Fidelity, investment portfolios. You dig what I'm saying? I know the difference. I know you gotta learn bookkeeping. You gotta learn. Listen, bookkeeping. When I started working for a bookkeeping company, then that's when I learned how important bookkeeping was. That helped me learn more with 1099 OIDs. I'm not saying look up accounting classes, but just learn the basics of bookkeeping. And then look into real estate, and then look into trust. Everything that's going on when you have a bill or a debt, you're becoming an investor for a contract. You're becoming an investor. You're investing in something. So you get all that money back as an investor. Because you're saying you're not gifted nothing. You never told me I was an investor. But on the public side, it's looking like you owe a bill. On the private side, you're really investing in something. They never told you was an investor. They're getting interest on all of this stuff, and the OID is getting your investments back and your interest. That's all that it's doing. You follow me? Even when you're in a court case, you're investing in something. If you look up the word stock warrants, look up what a stock warrant is. Anytime they issue a warrant, that's all they're doing. And I went over this. Yesterday. I do believe in one of my status correction classes. A stock warrant. A stock warrant is a financial contract between a company and investors that gives the investor the option to purchase the company's stock at a specific time and by a specific date. So when they give you a warrant and they give you an arraignment to appear at a court date, this is all based on a stock warrant off your private trust and your sole prop. A stock warrant allows the holder to receive newly issued stock from the same company that provided the warrant. And the stock is going to ended up being you because you trade names with the business. The warrant is like a certificate. You follow me? Title of ownership. They issue a stock warrant. Everything is taxes, man. All right. This is why I deal with brokers. This is why I like to deal with brokers, accountants, real estate agents. You know, people that really understand and talk the language. You feel me? Most lawyers don't even know this shit, man. They don't know shit. Yeah, man. I hope I answer your questions, man. Much peace and love. Much peace and love. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna answer some more questions on here. It says, I got all Patrick stuff because it's confusing. So I'm listening to Don. Oh yeah. You're a bug, bro. That's Clint. You're a bug, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. I can know most of your shit, dude. You 100. You send everybody involved that you made a nominee a W-9. Everybody involved. You can pull Lucky back up. I don't know if it's really send it to the bank or just was worth it. I send it to everybody. Rose gold, stone roses. You know what already put you in? All right, peace and love. Yes, sir. How you feeling, man? How you feeling? You still sound like you pimping. You hear me? Yes, sir, man. I ain't seen you since Baton Rouge, baby. It's been damn near a year. You was, yeah, man. Listen, man. They said, Francine said you helped her out a lot too, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. You said two, 28281. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Got you. You know, with mine, they've always sent me letters when they had issues. You know, so what they sent me was I had sent them. They actually sent me the actual power of attorney page and told me to fill in my power of attorney, and then they told me to send in and fill in the Schedule I. So that's what I'm waiting on. I didn't put no numbers in though. I didn't issue no numbers. I told them to fill all those things out for me, and then they sent back stating something of $183,000. So you know, dude was talking about millions. I haven't came across people getting millions. You know what I'm saying? Most court cases, the most I've seen on a court case was like $180. Yeah, I know there's millions out there, but I'm talking about what I've seen people get back and be able to be clear. Like, you know, I got one dude, you know, like I said, he had 250 bands. That shit went right through. He didn't have no issues. So yeah, you know, yeah, you know, I think one Fed case I think was like 1.3 million. That was in San Diego. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Everything else would just be in the upper hundreds of thousands. So I see six figures all the time. Yeah, so the 82, 81, and you know, and just with the status correction, make sure you do the correct powers of attorney, man. Like I said, with the Secretary of Treasury in Puerto Rico, Steve Mnuchin, and the IRS Commissioner. So those are the three main things. I didn't mention that earlier, the IRS Commissioner. So yeah, man, I appreciate you though dropping that knowledge for us, man. You still in Texas? I hear you. You said where you at? Carolina. All right, I don't know when I'm gonna make it back that way though. Yeah, man, I went to Texas. Texas always shows me love, man. I went to Houston and met with Johnny Dang and Paul Wall. That shit was dope, dog. Yeah. Got my grill done. So yeah, must be some love. Yeah, must be some love, King. I appreciate you, Lucky. Yes, sir. Hey, man, if y'all don't know, his name's Leon Rowe. Look him up, man. He's the truth, man. He goes by Lucky, man. He done woke hella people up. Fuck the bullshit. Real shit. He done woke up hella people. Yes, with the tax forms, you assess the tax. It's the same link. Go back to the same link for all the classes. It's in the same links. What's peace and love? What's peace and love? How you feeling, man? Oh yeah, Zyron. you you ain't the first person ever. You ain't the first person ever told me that. Veggie Man says facts. Woke me up. Your hair long as a motherfucker. Crown draping. 11 years? Okay, I see. All right, 217, baby. No, I was listening. I was born in Quincy, dog. 217, baby, all day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, a lot of people have been, yeah. Yes, sir. You a gangster. Only people locked up do that shit. Right. Sui juris now. No, no. So listen, you know, with the form, listen, so first and foremost, when you do the OID with the IRS, the form 56F, that's for the financial institution, okay? All right, now, you do that with the Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury. Form 56F, not just the 56, 56F. Now, with the court case, you know I'm not a licensed attorney tax expert, okay? The Form 56, you appoint the judge. as the unbound duty bound fiduciary, and you look at page 2 on the court administrative hearings, you can put the court information right there. But you put the judge's name and put DBA as the judge, right? But no, you're gonna have to do the judge. The judge is the one. He is the actual IRS agent. All right, now they're not gonna. Most of the time, they act like they don't even understand you. You take all this paperwork, you send it to the district courts and the IRS at the same time. But make sure you're always attaching the W-9 to these things because that's assessing the tax. Make sure you got your EIN number. All right. What about you? What state you in? Oh yeah, Illinois. So you got the certificate of good standing with Illinois, Secretary of State. Well, you know you're so close to Missouri too, right? Missouri costs $50. You can get your LLC today, like $75 on Missouri Secretary of State website, just like that. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Right, yeah. Yeah, you do the bonds, but you tell the judge to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Once your name's assessed right as the business, then you can start assessing the taxes. When you don't get no remedy, do the letter of rogatory starting off. All right? You know, and then, you know, you need to do the proof of claims. You know, do your certificate of identity, notice of mistake, challenge subject matter jurisdiction, do all that. You know, demand a delegation order, then you just send it to the IRS. That's the real court. To the IRS, yes, because the IRS is the tax expert. You tell them what to do. Yes, in the IRS, yes, 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 yes. But first you send it to the district courts in the IRS. You know, go to the district courts first. No, the federal courts. Federal supersedes everything. All the codes that I'm stating from is federal statutes and codes. You take it from the state's hand and you send it to the federal's hands first so you can assess the tax. There is no tax codes in the state. All taxes are federal. You follow me? Yes. No. No. You need to assess the state tax into a Fed too. Now, with your federal case, was it heard by the state? Did they use state's evidence? So look, that's not even no good neither. You just use the Rooker-Feldman doctrine. You can't use the state's investigation for a federal case. Yeah, Rooker-Feldman doctrine, man. This shit's simple, man. I do this on the regular, dog. You know, I got 8 motherfuckers out. I was in the hole and got 8 motherfuckers out of prison with the Rooker-Feldman doctrine. Special house, special house unit. Shoe program for all you bitches. Uh, Fort Worth, Texas, and Greenville, and yeah, and FCI Fort Worth. I became a Moore in Greenville. I became a Moore in Greenville. GDs run that count. Are they? Larry Hoover, baby. Larry Hoover, D, baby. Yes. Listen, man, just make sure you listen. Make sure you DM me your email address. I got a quick class tomorrow. Yeah, I got a quick class tomorrow, man. Yes, sir. Much peace and love, Kate. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, he said common law and demand for lawful money. 1099 is public. I would use the same address as the LLC. Yes. Do not use a residential address. No. The trust address would be the LLC. Let me know if anybody else want to join, man. Y'all want to join in on the live, man. I think that's going to do it, though, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm trying to read in these comments. Lavelle says, how do I make a demand for lawful money? You do that. That's what you're doing with the OID. What you think you're doing? There's no such thing as lawful money. Anytime you're in the United States corporation, you're operating in commerce, there is no lawful money, just fiat currency or credit. There's no money because you're operating in the bankruptcy. You got to understand, you're gifting your labor for something, whether it's material things, a cause, or an effect. You follow me? You're gifting your labor to receive something in return, a service, a good or a service. So we're filing OIDs on goods and services because you're the original issue of this labor. I do not know what an M1 is. This dude is just asking everything. Calm the fuck down, bro. Read the book. Damn it, read the book. Read the book. Calm down. If it's a debt, you can file an OID on it. I'm going to say it again. If it's a debt, rent is prepaid. Rent is not a debt. If it is a debt, then listen, no. Someone said murder. No, fuck no. You cannot file OID on a murder. Fuck no. That's a real crime. Listen. These are debts. If you hurt somebody, that's a real crime. If you damage property, that's a real crime. Okay? Hope that makes sense. But with that, I'm out, man. I went in tonight for y'all, man. I went in tonight. So, yeah, he says M1. Murder. Listen, you can't. Y'all are funny, bro. Y'all be trying, though. Listen, y'all be trying. Y'all gonna have to get a pardon from Donald Trump. You heard me? Your governor, the governor. Hey, peace and love, peace and love. How you feeling? All right. All right, man. You can go ahead and make sure you DM me your email address. I'll make sure you get access to these classes. But I went over this yesterday in my status correction class, my advanced status correction class, and that's what, if you understand being a national, that's a form W8Ben, a W8BEN. I went over that a little bit today too. A form W8Ben, W8BEN, and this is gonna make you foreign. A foreign tax status, all right? All right, and then this is what should be included with any of your affidavits. A substitute IRS W-8 BEN, B-E-N. This is for a certificate of foreign status with the IRS for your tax withholdings. And then you can also file a W-4T, which is withholdment of a termination of withholds. You terminate your W-4. Yeah. No, you can do that anytime. Some people do it quarterly, some people do it annually. Yes, sir. So yeah, make sure I get your email address. I'll make sure you get access. I'll make sure you get access to my videos and all the material.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Much peace and love. Yeah, man, I got y'all. I got y'all. I do this for y'all, man. So yeah, he asked about to get out taxes with his corporation or his company, his plantation that he's working for. That's why I said a W-8 bin. A W-8 bin. You're the individual banker. You get to file a W-8 bin form. All right. We went over that a few different times. I went over that. I don't really go in deep detail because it's not. There's really no reason to go in deep detail for it. But that's what the W-8 bin looks like. It's a certificate of foreign status as a non-resident alien for United States tax withholding. So we got in the grow. Let's see, in the grow. See if I can find you. We have the certificate of foreign status, non-resident alien for United States tax withholding, and then I'll show you the W-4T termination form. And this is the voluntary withholding agreement. The voluntary, because that's all W-4T is a withholding agreement. So voluntary withholding agreement, this is the termination of withdrawal from the W-4 agreement. Yes, the military are the trust protectors. Peace and love, how you feeling, man? All good, man. Look like my cousin, so looks good. Okay. All right, so like I study, like I do say in the classes and stuff, man. It's just all about person having the knowledge. You gotta learn. You're in a corporation. You're in a corporate world, so you gotta learn how to operate on the corporation side by learning how to operate with your private bank, your private LLC, in your state. You follow me? So just learning how to move those things around and protect your assets. You protect them with a trust. You follow me?
Okay.
And you know, then when dealing with the live body, you're a national, declare nationality, and you know you can use your passport, but still have your nationality ID with you because that's still theirs. You follow me? You know, yeah. And if you're getting out of debt, you know it's a dispute process, it's an OID process. You still have to file paperwork. Like there's no way around that shit. You still have to be a bookkeeper or an accountant.
All right. And what do you?
What you mean? I mean, I don't know your level of understanding. I just met you, brother. I mean, that's up to you. I don't. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? I mean, you claimed it when you just said you did. Yeah, that's it. It's that simple. Now, when somebody else is trying to take claim of your name, you got to prove that shit. That's why you got to learn. You take my classes. I'm going over everything. It's not just something I can give you in one question. You follow me? We got status correction. You got to put this on the record with certain entities and organizations. You follow me? If you're in a court case, you got to handle that. The county deeds office, the Secretary of State, the IRS commissioner, Steve Mnuchin, Secretary of State in D.C., the president, you know, England, IML, you know, the Vatican. Yeah, put everybody on notice with different forms. It's just your level of understanding, your comprehension of what's going on. I teach people how to do exactly what it is they do, live-ended. So, hey, man, with that, I'm calling it a night. Much peace and love. I'm about to smoke these blunts. Listen, the W-8 bin does tie in with the OIDs because the W-8 bin goes with W-8 bin goes with your status correction. The W-8 bin goes with your status correction. As part of your status correction documents. Because this is love. Peace and love. So, man, I hope it makes sense. Y'all got to learn how to ask the right questions. Learn how to even ask Google the right questions, and the answers will come. UCC1s. I don't utilize UCC1s. Like I said, that's a whole different class. You only utilize UCC1s when dealing with your holding company. You're going to want to establish a holding company. This has nothing to do with the UCC1, dealing with 1099 OIDs. So I just want to make that clear right now. If you want to become a private member, you already know what to do. Go to DonKilam.com or hit me up at 407-274-5161. Let me know you want to become a private member. Let me know you got that money ready and you're ready to send or whatever, man. We'll figure this shit out, man. But look, go back, watch the videos. Go back, rewatch the videos. If you don't have access to the videos, respond to the emails how you got access to this class, all right? Respond to that email. I will resend you the link. There's only one link and it access all the classes. Click the other folders. Quit hitting me up asking me silly shit. There's so many people hitting me up on a daily basis. I don't got time to hear your silly ass questions, okay? This is why I get upset. Don't leave stones unturned. Look, if you don't get an email from me and I say I was going to email you, check your spam box. If you don't, then you screenshot your form of payment. I received your payment, and then screenshot and send to me at 407-274-5161 with your email address. Be like, hey, Malik, hey, I didn't get access to the class, or I need re-access to the class, or I need re-access to the files. Let me know what's going on, man, so I know who you are. With that, I'm out. Much peace and love. Prosperity is a birthright. Have a good night. The material will be up in a little bit. I love y'all. I do this for y'all. I try to make this as simple as possible. I'm here. If I don't know I don't know all the answers. So if I don't know, I can't answer. I can only go through with what I know. I'm only able to go through with what I know. With that, much peace and love.